The world's most action-packed sporting competition is happening this weekend, and it's not in the USA. It's here in Sweden, where the Nordic nations are going head-to-head at the Magic Weekend in Höljes. It is race day at Höljes, Värmland in Sweden. Round 3 of the FIA European Rallycross Championship ending today. We've got a qualifying session coming up, then quarter-finals and semi-finals. On to the finals, of course, when we're going to get everyone up onto the top step of the podium. That is the vista you can see there. We're down at one end of that. Clouds surrounding the venue. We've had overnight rain. There's going to be a bit of rain later on today, potentially right at a crucial moment in the day, which I'm very excited about. The drivers maybe less so. My name's Andrew Coley. This is Hal Ridge. Good morning. Morning, mate. Morning warm-up this morning. The track's dry now. I think we were expecting a bit more rain maybe earlier in the day, but it's still definitely going to be a factor.
It did rain overnight, though, so there was a mixture of tyres being used in that warm-up session. The order is a bit skewed, and, Johan Kristoffersson was at the top, but that doesn't necessarily mean that's how it's going to go today.
Right, let's take a look back at yesterday's action. Andreas Bakkerud, of course, was the winner last time out in Hungary. He did very nicely in the first session. I think it was a P3 for him. There was some great racing out there, though. Bit of contact here in turn 1. And this one was about Patrick O'Donovan trying to find his way through the pack. And he teed up an absolutely brilliant pass, Hal.
Yeah, it was a hard job for O'Donovan to get that done. Down the hill, he actually spent most of his day behind Martin Enlund. And in that battle with the Swede, there is the leading Swede in Q1, Johan Kristoffersson, getting to the front. Look at the size of the jump here at Höljes this weekend, but this was the big talking point of day one. Yeah,
so watch for Kristoffersson here, and Kasper Jansen on the outside. Kristoffersson was judged to basically be too late on the brakes and to have caused this collision, which took out Jansen and Bakkerud. The team disagreed. We kind of felt it was a racing incident. The stewards looked at it and said, no, it's not, and it's a black flag. That was harsh, Hal.
Yeah, getting no time at all for Kristoffersson in Q2, and ultimately that meant that driver on the left-hand side of your shot there, Patrick O'Donovan, with a consistent set of runs but not any fastest times, took the overnight TQ.
Yeah, he got up the inside of Enlund here. Nice result for Patrick. And it was a fun day's racing, very much up and down for everyone. I think all the top drivers had at least one heat which did not go their way. This was the one which was particularly tricky for the top drivers. The very last race of the day ended up pouring with rain while they were sitting in the pre-grid. They were on slicks, and they all dropped down the order again. Let's take a look at this. Patrick O'Donovan, the overnight TQ. Bakkerud, Tapane, and Rapos, Enlund, Kristoffersson, Linneman, Rukkonen. So the top drivers are there, but not where they'd normally expect to be. Paye could have been overnight TQ. Missed his joker in Q3. Ekström, Christensen, Munich, August, Janssen, Veiby, right down in 15th. Ollie O'Donovan, P16. And remember, the top 24 will go through to the quarter-finals. So those bottom 4 at the minute are in danger of going home after this session. Q4, which is lining up on the grid right now. Great atmosphere here at Höljes. They're coming out of the woods. There was definitely some partying going on last night. Me and Hal cruised up and down Happy Street to see how many people were having a bit of a drink up last night, and it was a lot. The hospitality was banging. They were playing Hey Höljes Rallycross in there last night, and the longest conga line I've ever seen of Swedes having a fun day, and they're going to have a fun day today as well. This is what we got coming up. This is probably the most important session of the day. You got Q4 for all of the sessions, for all of the categories, sorry, and then the quarter-finals for RX1. Clearly, the most important one will be the final later, but this is absolutely key to teeing up those grids later on. They want to be, top drivers want to be in the top 8, how they want to be on the front row in the quarterfinals. That will make things a bit easier.
And as we've just seen, the points are so close throughout the order that so much will change in this session. Bit of a nightmare for us because it's going to be a lot of maths and the track is going to evolve very quickly. This is going to be fascinating.
Fabien Paye on the pole, could have been the overnight TQ, but as we said, missed his joker lap. Unfortunately, that means a penalty of 30 seconds and drops it straight to the back of the order. Nils Vollen, Paulius Pleskavas and Philip Turenne line up in this first race. Marshall's leaving the grid. Hal mentioned there were mixed tyres earlier on. I saw this morning Ollie O'Donovan, he said that the set cars had gone on slicks, and I then saw Juha Rukkonen just as I was coming to the commentary box. And I said, how was morning one? He goes, not great. And I said, oh, why? And he said, we were scrubbing slicks for later. And Clara said UC always likes them to do that. Remember Clara driving for CE dealer team last year where UC was very involved. Paye and Volland need a good start here, got to try and get away, they've got it. Well, Volland has certainly. Pleskovic maybe going to come around the outside of Paye. So Paye, for me, I'd go Joker immediately. You won't want to be stuck in behind Turenne, but Turenne's gone. He could have gone there, but he couldn't have predicted Turenne was going to go.
Turenne's had such a shocking weekend, though, so far, that maybe you just don't want to risk being behind him because you're not really sure of his ultimate pace. Disaster for Paye, really, currently in 9th overall, but only 12 points off the TQ, and you never know what's going to happen. It could rain yet, Andrew, and this could end up being the fastest race in the session.
Yes, absolutely.
So you just don't know what's going to play out. Poor start for the McCann, but we see so often here, and looking at the back of the commentary position, pole position is not the grid slot to be in when it's wet and slippery.
No, it's very damp. We'll show you that in maybe the warm-up shots for the next race. We might be able to get to it before the cars are on the grid. You'll see how damp it is. So yeah, a lot of wheel spin for him. I say, I think I might have gone Joker, but the spotters can't call it from there. He wouldn't have known Turenne was going in. He should go. Can't really. He's not got that. He does. He does. So into the Joker out for Fabien Paye, and Turenne's got him. So this is even more of a disaster now. Turenne might be going quickly, but that's not gone the way Paye would have wanted.
It's not working, is it, for Paye at the moment?
So good job by Philippe Turenne, to be fair. Seems to be closing down on the pace of the others out front.
I'm interested to know what tyres these drivers are on. It's a dry race declared at the moment. But yeah, that could change with a race director's decision if it starts to rain. So all of these cars at the moment are on dry, and the track will evolve. It's very slippery at the moment, as you can see. You can see it's dark on the racing line there where Niels Volland is at the moment, and it will dry out if it doesn't rain.
I think the fact that Bakkerud and Payne were like 4th and 7th in damp conditions, you knew the slick would be the call from race control. But yeah, it doesn't mean it's not hard work for them, does it? Places like this where the dirt gets dragged on, and that's another feature I love to see in a rallycross track, Hal, is when dirt is dragged onto tarmac, it means it remains inconsistent all day. Especially
into the braking area, or a heavy loaded corner where you've got to move the car around, because it, like you say, the grip evolves so much, and that's so difficult to explain to anybody that hasn't experienced it. But honestly, you're experiencing a different track almost every lap where the conditions are changing quickly.
We experienced a different road coming in this morning, like just the long gravel roads from the hotel to the track here, and it's just got that greasiness to it. Turenne now under a bit of pressure from Paye, but they're still within 3.1 of the leader. Volland goes in on this lap with Pleskovic's final lap. They have to, and I think Turenne's going to get him. Is Paye going to get him as well? Should be a good exit speed here, but no, Volland's pulled off a great Joker. End up P2 and P3. So Paye back to 3rd where he was before the Jokers played out, but Turenne coming up from P4 to P2. Good tactics, Hal.
All that hard work yesterday for Paye competition, and this is where the result of that missed Joker really starts to play out, because you're in the wrong race where you want to be. The track's at its slowest if it doesn't rain, and you're on the back foot, and they'll live to fight another day. But these are why there's so many consequences to making minor errors in these events.
Yeah, bit of a shame yesterday for them, but as Paye said very graciously, we win together, we lose together. Volland takes this first race of the day for Turenne and Paye. I thought it was very fair, because he must have been disappointed, Hal, but he will know that he's been the man who's made mistakes before. You know, as a driver, you chuck it off sometimes, don't you? And, OK, yeah, they missed the Joker. He was cool, not cool about it. You know what I mean? Very gracious about it.
I've talked to him a lot this year as we see confirmation of results. Volland, Turenne, Paye and Pleskovic. And Paye's in that wonderful period of his career where he's doing it because he wants to, not because he needs to. He says, I'm 40 now. I've seen it all. I know what I want to do, but I'm not in this scenario where I'm definitely... Look at the wheel spin from the McGann there on pole position.
Look at the grid slot in the background. You can't really see it.
You can see the shininess of that grid position where Bart Bell will start in the next race. But yeah, when you're in that zone of not needing to prove yourself and just doing it because you love it and knowing that you can achieve, it's a very different mindset. And yes, you'll be frustrated by yesterday, but at the same time, you take on the chin, don't you?
One of the things I've been saying to a number of young drivers, if they talk to me and they're stressed about it, and I'd say to them, remember to enjoy this, because when you're a bit older and you look back at it, you'll wish you'd enjoyed it a bit more, because you're so desperate to prove yourself and to prove to the sponsors that it was the right thing. And yeah, so Paye enjoying himself, maybe not so much this morning with the way things are. No rain for the next hour, our satellite is saying, in which case the track should dry. It is very grey over the far end of the track at the minute. Rukkanen Just taking a look at the various tyres on the car, so we know that he scrubbed a set earlier.
They're more used than the scrubs.
Yeah, definitely.
At least on
the
that
scrubs
side.
will be saved, won't they, for the quarters or the semis?
Depends where you are. Depends how you feel qualifying's going and how high up the grid you need to be for the quarters.
Yeah. Let's take a look at the grid for the next one. Bart Bell on that inside line. Let's see if number one goes backwards again, because remember, Kristoffersson will be in that slot in the final race. Then Moser, Seppa and Tanovic. Anton Seppa, Hal, we know he's quick, and it hasn't gone his way this weekend.
Miserable day yesterday with punctures and mistakes, and just didn't have the pace. There is Johan Kristoffersson watching on, and all of the drivers will be watching the starts to see where the grip is.
Remember that in this one, Tanovic P27, Seppa P26, Bart Bell P25. They are all on the cusp of not making the cut. Philippe Turenne just did a good run. He's in P28 but with 2 DNFs. I don't think he'll make it, but I don't know. You never know. Seppa's got the start. That's what he needed now, Hal. Really got to go for it. He is 4 points off P24 Attila Moser. That's qualifying points. This needs to be a great run.
It does, but he's also critically ahead of Attila Moser in this one, which will make a big difference. When I got to put money on it, I would say that Seppa can indeed do this at the top, but the times are going to tumble. So for reference, in warm-up this morning, Johan Kristoffersson did a 47.270. Everyone in the previous race went quicker. Even Bleskowicz did a 47.0.
Yeah,
the track's
true.
Getting faster already.
Yeah, very true. So yeah, the fact is in front of Moser is good. Oh, looking for an inside move. Tanovic can't get through though. So yeah, being in front of Attila, who is the driver he's trying to catch. Attila is the P24 driver at the minute, is good, and now he'll want as many cars as possible to slot in.
Trying to claim you didn't make contact when your bumper's still attached to the car that you touched is always going to be tricky when you get back to the paddock, isn't it?
It wasn't me.
Didn't hit him.
Wasn't me. Brilliant. I remember my grand blesser came back from town one day in a black Austin Metro with red paint on the front corner. Like, Granny, why have you hit? She said, I didn't hit anything. We clearly have. Luckily the stewards weren't involved, maybe the insurance company. But yeah, you're right, you can't argue it, can you? I think the cameras are a bit of a giveaway as well, aren't they?
Well, yeah.
Dastardly TV, ruining drivers' fun for, I don't know, since 1970, whatever it was.
Can't hide from a lot these days, can you? Anton Seppa crosses the line with a 46.3, not as fast as Volland went in the previous race. It's just not working for Anton Seppa. I don't want to predict things that aren't necessarily happening, but front right wheel, maybe it was just the branding on the tyre. Looks like it's wobbling around all over the place, but clearly going reasonably quickly. Here's Moser through the Joker's going to come back out. Just ahead of Tanovic. Good job from the Moser RX squad to get Attila in and out.
Yeah, nicely done. I mean, looking at this, Hal, obviously Turenne sitting in P2 in the standings at the minute from that previous race. Turenne is absolutely rock bottom last. But if this track continues to dry and they manage to get ahead of some of these people who are low in the standings, like Attila being down here, where was Bleskowicz? Bleskowicz is behind Turenne as well, and he's in P23 at the minute. Got 69 qualifying points from 22.
Turenne's so many points behind.
They need a lot of cars to go in between them, and if it dries, that might not happen.
Nice into the Joker from Anton Seppa, just touches the apex on the left, a bit more curve on the right. Maximise that in a way that nobody else has done in this race so far.
This is a much better run from Seppa, 7.8 seconds up the road prior to the Joker lap.
Consistent as well in the middle of the race, 46.3. I don't believe this rain in an hour thing. The temperature's plummeting and it's getting very grey outside.
Yeah.
Almost as wide, Andrew, in the velodrome.
Well, look at Seppa's inputs, Hal. He's having to work really hard. I know it's slippery, but... And again, look. Multiple inputs to make the car do what he wants it to do.
On the handbrake into the last corner as well, you saw his hand lift up and pull the wand.
Great job, though. He goes 2.6 seconds quicker than Nils Volland when Moser holds on from Tanovic. But really, it's about what happens in the rest of this session. So that's a good time from Seppa. So P26 needs P24 at the end of this session to make the cut for the quarters. There's Johan Kristoffersson and his engineer Rich behind him.
He's just seen OC Veby have a poor pre-start on the way down to the grid. Anton Seppa, Moser, Tanovic and Bell are your list of finishers from that one. OC Veby there will start in the next one, and Johan was watching on as the car moved and then jutted as if he didn't quite have enough traction, but it didn't bog either.
And it's tricky when you look at the grid from where we are. This is the standings as it is. So Seppa and Turenne, remember, who are both trying to find a way through, sitting in P1 and P3 at the minute. But if the track continues to dry, that might not work out. he's in a very different grid slot, isn't he, Baby? He's sitting out on slot number 4, which
he's
is
actually in the slot that Seppa just made the best start from there in this race. Okay, the level in this race wasn't as high as Seppa is used to racing against, and that has an effect, doesn't it? Because Seppa's used to trying to get off the line ahead of those that are generally further up the order. Loads of understeer for Bell in the Joker section.
The bumper you mentioned, Hal. Wasn't me, honest.
Great to have these drivers here, though, this weekend. Certainly gives us a big depth of field. Tandemic doing well to keep off that curve. That used to be called the Ericsson curve, didn't it? Because Andreas Ekström used to be absolutely livid when his drivers landed on it and got punctures. I think Kevin, Sébastien and Oliver managed it in one weekend, didn't they? So
that would definitely have made him furious. Seppa with a lot of inputs, but got the job done. Gets to the checker first. Here's OC Baby. Look at his grid slot. He's actually in number 4, and Seppa was in 3. 3 is the one that's favoured.
Yes.
That's where Munich is. But the difference is that Baby's grid slot is largely dry. Now, if you look to the left-hand side of the grid, where Mandy August is starting from, it's still very damp. Rukkonen, Munich, Baby, and Moser. So the 2 here that need to get away, Hal, Rukkonen and Baby.
And we know that neither August or Munich are hard fighters in the first corner, so this will help them. But Rukkonen and Baby had such a battle yesterday in the final race of Q3.
There we go, thumb onto the button on the top of the handbrake. Rukkonen pulls it on. And they'll get the cars loaded up, ready for the launch. 4 lights about to go out. Great start by Rukkonen in P2. Munich's gone with him, though. Going to be able to shut the door on August inside. Baby's lost out, so whatever they did at the start didn't work. Now he might not be able to get to the Joker. Could dive off. Changed his mind, does he? Late decision from Baby. Maybe the right one to not be in traffic, but if he catches up with him within a lap and they don't go, Hal, that could be not great.
I actually think it was the right decision from that stage, because you're in the all-inkle sandwich, and it's tricky from 3rd, isn't it? But at least he's got some free air now. We also know that all-inkle don't generally leave their drivers out too long. They don't like getting in the fight. They like doing their own thing and seeing what they can do. Time-wise, this is perfect, though, for Johan Rukkonen at the front of the order.
So I think Rukkonen stays out. Baby trying hard in the background. Mark Moser as well.
Well, for sure Rukkonen stays out because he needs a good overall time. Yeah. You can't risk Mandy August not joking and then coming out in the traffic. But maybe at that stage, I have no option. Rukkonen 100% stay out now.
Big opposite lock through turn 1. Wonderful stuff from the onboard. You saw him looking almost through the side window. Neither of the Munich cars go, and that is a problem for Baby now.
Just to prove me wrong, but
you're right though. They don't like being the scrap. They said they want to do the run. Look at the amount of curb that Baby's using now. Baby might make an aggressive move here on August. August is very sideways.
What a great job. What a great job Mandy August has done so far this weekend in that Seat Bifa. She looks really comfortable in that car.
Watch for Baby on the inside, and he's done it already. Look at that. She ran just a car width wide, and Baby was through. Great awareness. Stuck it up the inside. Now he's got to try and get after Munich. Now, Munich, what do you reckon, Hal? Joker?
Probably Joker, yeah, because he'll be thinking about his overall time to be as high as he can for the quarters. Doesn't really want to get in a fight with Baby, who is clearly desperate to get past.
Yeah, so fastest lap for Baby on that last one, and Munich does go, and that won't affect Baby too badly. Maybe a little bit in turn 1, but the gap from Rukkonen to Baby is 5 seconds now.
I'm surprised they didn't Joker Mandy then, the all-inkle squad, because René's going to come up behind her now, although she's run very, very wide indeed. As René's teammate.
My bad, 2.7. I was adding the gaps together, and it's not. It's 2.7 between them, so this might be on for Baby then.
Mandy cuts across the nose of René on the exit of the velodrome. They are taking this fight to each other right now. Oh, Mandy's wildly sideways at the bottom of the hill.
Oh, it might be a spin. She's gone round. Mandy August has gone round from the commentary position. The cars behind her have missed her. Rukkonen, though, Hal, is not in the window. Baby's killing it. 1.8 back. This is a great drive with that early Joker. Rukkonen in. Baby coming over the crest on the inside line. This is a job done. And away, so Baby gets it. Rukkonen doesn't have the pace this morning.
Way too much curb for Juha there in the second phase of the Joker. The car just stepped out sideways. Umbrellas are going up behind us. You can see the rain on the windscreen as well. This could turn the order massively on his head, couldn't it?
This might be a win then for Baby here. If this session gets damp, Baby might be in absolutely the perfect race. I'm wearing shorts in commentary. I can feel the rain on the back of my legs. So the radar's wrong. The shorts have got it. And yeah, the umbrellas are going up. Baby with the wipers on hard, chasing the 311 of Seppa. This is just about the right track conditions. Baby's going to get it. Rukkonen is there as well. So Rukkonen might be disappointed with that, but if the rain is coming, it might be what he needed. He might end up P2 anyway. Just depends how long this goes on for. Grey and misty over the circuit. Lap time's still there now, isn't it?
For now, yeah. A 45.1, 45.3, 45.4. These are the shots live from pre-grid. There is Team RX Racing, there's the Rallycross squad. The
tyre racks are being rolled in, aren't they, just in case? You can see the water on our lens.
Yeah, they're all, and what do you do? It's not a wet race yet, you can't do anything, but you've got to be ready. The next race is in the grid, who are potentially going to suffer the worst if it does keep raining, because they have no option but to stay on their dry tyres.
It's still raining at the minute very much. We're not seeing full umbrella action like we saw yesterday. Our ponchos are going on. We're in business now. Veiby, 307.8. Rukkanen, 1.1 behind. Early joke of a Veiby paid off. Good pass on August. And then Munich went joker in front of him. He comes to the top of the page. Rukkanen there, 1.1. Then Seppa, Vol and Terem, Paye. See now how this is going to work out. This could work out really well, Hal, for Terren, who else was on the cusp of not making it through. Seppa, P3. If it gets wet, these guys are going to come from outside the quarterfinals and make their way up into that position. Could be really interesting. Who's going to lose out? Well, Oliveira. Oliveira's in race 4, which is this one, and now really umbrellas and ponchos going on everywhere. It's not really raining any harder.
No, but you just need a bit of consistent drizzle, don't you, to make it super slippery. You may as well throw away the intermediate classification after Q3 now, because it's not going to make any difference in about 5 minutes.
Kristoffersson. He'd probably put wets on and set the fastest time or something daft, won't he? But let's see. Okay, grid for this next race. How wet is it out there? Mats Oven on the inside line. That's slightly wet, slot number 1. Hans-Göran Ostring, Kasper Janssen, Ulrich Linnemann, and Jose Oliveira. This will give us a great idea of what the lap times are. Now things are getting tricky. 45.1 from Veiby was his quick time. Okay, let's see what happens in this one then. Janssen in the middle of the grid looks to have got a good start, but no better than Linnemann. On the outside of him, it's Oliveira that gets to turn 1 first. They're all feeling for the grit levels. Mats Oman's surely going to go joker, and there he does. So Oman slots off, Linnemann gets into P3, but it's Oliveira and Janssen on the standard lap.
Notice how that little bit of drizzle neutralised the grip in the first corner. Oman did a great job there. He's going to have a look to the inside. We're on board of Hansen, aren't we? Looks to the inside of Oliveira.
So Oliveira through the velodrome, and that's more than just spray off the wheels. That's definitely rain still falling out there on the far end of the circuit.
Oh, Oliveira sideways coming down the hill, riding on board of Kasper Janssen. You can see how dark it is. His face is being lit up by the dash in the Peugeot 208 to the outside over the jump. Will he get the undercut into the final corner? Gets the nose of the 208 up the inside. Bit of contact, can't get it done.
Oliveira shut the door nicely there. Linnemann is sitting in P3. Mats Oman having gone joker. 4.5 back at the last split. Oliveira struggling a bit here with the grip. Goes joker. Janssen to the standard lap. So late from Kasper, got on the bar to turn it in, but I think that's worked out well.
Janssen was going to go, but changed his mind and didn't lose too much time. Linnemann behind Oliveira at the moment. Flames flying from the back of the box like on payload. Ostring's wide. Oliveira looks up the inside. Linnemann looking up the outside of Oliveira.
Sideways in the background from Mats Oman as well. Grip is going down. Hal, it was a 48-second first lap. Absolutely chucking it down now. So I think this is going to be game over for this session in terms of going.
Oh, Linnemann in the wall!
Bounces off the barrier on the inside line. Still there though, and the car holding on somehow. Oliveira sideways again. Linnemann late on the brakes, trying to go outside, inside. They're all on slicks.
It seems to me
that Linnemann up the inside. How contact again? Same race as Rukkanen and Veiby yesterday. Linnemann gets through.
It seems to me that it's raining
wet race declared.
It's raining harder in the velodrome section than it is in.
Hang on, how it's a wet race has been declared. Oh, the wipers are on. It's pouring with rain. They're out slicks, but luckily a wet race has been declared.
But it has to be declared for you to be able to use wet tyres. That's the point, isn't it?
I mean the people that are out there now.
But that's the lottery.
It's brilliant.
That's how the gamble works, isn't it?
Because I love it.
The FIA won't declare a wet race until it gets to a certain point.
It's still great. What, Tierney, is it wet? Tierney says it's wet. He's put his hand up towards the sky. Just feel for the guys that are out there on slicks. They're like, yeah, we know.
But so often in these heats that it works in your favour. You've just got to survive what's underneath you.
this isn't going to dry in the next couple of races, so this looks like Baby and Rukkinen are going to get great results here.
Linnemann to the inside, what a brilliant move by Juri Linnemann to go outside, inside, Hanjo and Ostrang into the final corner, but the lap times are just absolutely nowhere.
They're absolutely dire. Kasper Janssen with a 52 on the last lap. 4 seconds has gone from the lap time in 3 laps.
I really feel for Kasper Janssen because he was so good in the practice sessions, wasn't he, on Friday night, again
side
on
by
Saturday
side.
morning.
Oh, Omen, and a little contact again.
He was great, wasn't he, in Q1, and then just got caught up in that incident with Kristoffersson that cost him a lot of time.
I'm getting wet now. There's so much rain coming in.
Oh, I'm so sorry for you.
It's a wet race, definitely. Flames at the back of Owen's car. Kasper Janssen down the hill. These drivers will be the last ones to struggle. We need to have a look in the pre-grid in a minute and see everybody frantically changing to wets. Nobody loaded into the start yet. Kasper Janssen runs a bit deep. Linnemann to the inside line in the very final corner. Ulrich Linnemann gets
What
it.
a move.
He's brilliant in these wet conditions.
So if ever there are your Linnemann conditions.
Janssen, so Janssen's transponder must be a bit further forward. 0.028. Janssen apparently holds on to it.
At least it's connected now.
Right, and there you go. That's what you need to see. The wet tyres are going on. Torque wrench is being set. Jackson nut guns are on the go. Look at this. Full pressure down in the pre-grid now. But the big thing here is, regardless of the wet, surely the lap time is completely gone now.
Tricky to know, isn't it?
Wet tyre in wet conditions. I mean, in theory, they'll...
But they need more rain, I'd say.
Others.
Kasper Janssen, Ulrich Linnemann, Jose Oliveira, Mats Omen, Hanjo and Ostrang on your list of finishers from that one. If it rained more, Andrew, I think the wet tyre would come back into it, but at the moment it's just too greasy. OC Baby.
You're not going to get near those, right? It'd be the one, you've got to feel for the last lot who ended up on slicks in the wet. So they may suffer from the drivers who now go on wets in the wet, but... Whew. Right,
Janssen a long way off the pace, isn't he, despite having a good run in that one. Let's have a look back at the replays. As you say, wet race declared during the session. And
during the race.
During the race. Session within a session. Mats Omen did a great job there from pole, and what I was saying was the grip was neutralised across, wasn't it? Because pole is so slippery when it's a bit greasy, but actually was a bit more greasy for everyone. It was much more equal start. Linnemann was brilliant here and in the final corner. Went to the outside of Ostrang, then cut back underneath. That car, the longitudinal engine in the Polo, just the balance of the car worked a little bit better, in my opinion, than the transverse car of someone like Janssen, because you got all the weight over the front wheels, you're just waiting, whereas the longer weight balance of a longitudinal car, traditional supercar, is maybe a little bit better in those greasy conditions.
This was the move in the final corner. Kasper looked completely on the curb on the inside. Linnemann super deep, almost a karting line.
Found a lot of grip out there, didn't he? Where the rubber hasn't been all weekend.
And Janssen ran out wide. You can actually see just in front of the paint the 2 lines which are cut into the ground are where they buried the timing loop into the tarmac. So it's slightly before the painted line. That is Ekström's car, I think. It is.
Hedstrom Motorsport of not winning the race for the tyre change in the pre-grids at the moment. Enlund Motorsport also...
Someone sent me a meme of Hedstrom's car looking like a minion. I think it's got, I like the livery, it's cool. But yeah, a pair of eyes on it would be mint.
Also, always a good livery on a Hedstrom car, isn't it? At least when it first shows up. They are very busy, those cars generally. Peter gets the most out of them.
So, Hal, we did talk about this yesterday while we got a couple of minutes to kill. When it's wet like this and you're not having to use your slicks, obviously you're saving laps. So if it does dry out later, some of these drivers, if they make the quarters, will at least have fresher tyres ready. And also, if it remains wet all day, some of those tyres might end up going to somewhere like Lohéac, which you've said is hard.
Yeah, and that's the tyre game you play, isn't it? Lots of teams love lots of wet tyres because you register the tyres and carry them over. So generally, you don't struggle for wet tyres because you keep registering your 8.
Yeah, and so you've got tons sitting in the truck in theory, but it's more about the lack of use of the slicks, isn't it, is what's the result in the wet.
Depends if it's going to rain next to Mondello Park and you need all the wets you can get. You just never know, do you? It has been known to rain occasionally in Ireland.
I can't imagine. I'm looking forward to going there. You've been to Mondello, I've not.
Many times, yeah. It's a great place to go.
A little bit of a different circuit out, I believe.
Marty there, the number 1 mechanic on Patrick O'Donovan's car, making a setup adjustment with the dampers. This is Yeah, Kjetil Larsen's team making an adjustment there. I would guess that's to the remote reservoir. I guess that's on Öhlins, that Polo, from memory. So yeah, making they're basically softening the car up. If they've got any time, they'd be taking the anti-roll bars off or making adjustments to the anti-roll bars. There probably isn't the time to be doing that at the moment, so it'll just be damper clicks, but that can make all the difference.
Okay, so I'm going to look at the intermediate standings that Hal suggested we rip up, which I think was a good idea. Trying to see how, wow. So from P10 to P1, there are only 12 qualifying points in it, Hal.
Yeah.
So Hedström in P10. And actually, if we go back a bit further, that's a good marker. So Hedström's on 100 qualifying points, so Donovan is on TQ is on 112. But I think Linneman's been already, Rukkanen's been already, Paye's been already. They're in the top, they're already in that top 10. Kristoffersson, yeah, wow. So, okay, here we go. Rafos currently sitting P4. Ollie O'Donovan a little bit further down the order in P16. Hedström currently in 10th, look. Enlund currently in 5th. And Christensen currently in 11th. But they are going to struggle against the cars forward. It is hosing it down here.
And in this race, you've got two of the most experienced and best drivers in the wet in Rallycross, in Ollie O'Donovan and Petter Hedström, and three absolute young chargers who won't care for a moment about experience and be driving with the seat there.
After it. Look at the rain hammering down the roofs of the cars. It's hammering down on the roof of commentary as well now. And
Petter Hedström in a wet Höljes is a surefire way of having a quick result.
Our social media manager, who just appeared on the TV feed, has run to the grid for photos of wet tyres, has run back now, and he's soaking wet as well. So, yeah, the marshals have got their jackets on. It's the far end of the circuit is shrouded in rain. Proper wet now. Not quite like last. Look at your man with the sunglasses on, sitting with his arms folded.
Optimism. Optimism in a nutshell.
He's like, you're having a laugh, Mum and Dad. Why? No, yesterday. I told you I wanted to come yesterday. He's gutted. There are people standing under the cafe right next to commentary. There's like a slight overhang on the roof, and they're all there underneath it trying to stay dry. Water pooling now down at the curbs. Touching the paint's irrelevant here in terms of grip levels. There isn't any grip anywhere. Everybody getting tons of wheels at the line. Ollie O'Donovan with the best start by far in the 208 down towards turn 1. Hedström going to start in behind him round the outside though. Martin Senlund across the curbs. Ollie's got to go Joker surely from there, and he stays on the standard lap. In the background, somebody went in Joker. It might be Christensen. O'Donovan sideways. Bit of contact over the jump again. Ollie in P2. Martin Enlund out front.
Great job from Enlund round the outside in the first corner. I think Ollie did the right thing to stay out, Andrew, because you just don't know what's going to happen, do you? Well, if you go into the Joker, Hedström looks up the inside of Victor Christensen out of the velodrome. But as we've seen so many times here at Höljes, there's a lot of grip there on the outside of the velodrome. The spray and the mud will not be helping Petter Hedström back there in the pack.
Rafos went Joker on lap 1. Halley's already on the back of this pack between P2 and P5. The water is pouring into the back of commentary here. We're all right. We're just sort of standing at the side of the desk instead. And O'Donovan sitting in P2, but Rafos Halley's the one to watch. 3.6 off the lead, so yes, Enlund might be getting away with the fastest lap, but with this pack here, who's going to go Joker? Christensen goes.
And Rafos is also in that wonderful position where he can see what the cars are doing in front. Martin Enlund has got the unenviable task of finding out where the grip is, whereas Rafos is seeing the brake lights, seeing how the cars move around. You learn so much at the back of the pack when you can lean on the other drivers and find out what they're doing. O'Donovan, a lot of understeer.
Is there grip on there, though? He finds some grip on the exit, so O'Donovan with Hedström in behind him. Absolutely pouring with rain here at Höljes, pouring in at the back.
Rafos is wide going down the hill. Someone's got the inside of him. It's Hedström in the background. Rafos wide again towards the jump.
He's still holding on at the minute, so Rafos having jokered into now into P3 overall. Christensen's gone and is behind me, struggling. Oh, front right. Is the front right off? No, maybe not.
I think he went round the outside of Petter Hedström. We didn't see it, but I think he was going round the outside of Peter, going down the hill. O'Donovan, I think, will stay out again.
This is Rafos' race. He's 2.8 off the back here. Hedström's just gone in and is already behind him. It's not enough time. Rafos has pulled a blinder here.
Just survival, though, isn't it? You just doing your own thing to try and get to the end in the best possible time. Johannes Rafos, though, P4 overnight, 107 points to 112.
look at the water down in the dip between the crest and the velodrome. There's a puddle of water again. Look at it pouring out of
O'Donovan on the brakes, coming down the hill. Raffos looks wide again.
Raffos, if I were Raffos, he can't wait though, can he? Look at Ollie, like the car's snapped him when he jumps on the brakes. Raffos runs deep again. This is literally Höljes last year. And the wind's picked up as well now. The water is absolutely pouring in everywhere where we are. It's over the camera lenses too.
Ellen's doing a great job, Andrew, because he's discovering this grip every single time. Raffos still looking.
O'Donovan's going to go joker, and Raffos here should take this, but watch for Enlund, because Raffos hasn't got it. Enlund might get enough traction on the exit here. Martin Enlund, how did he do that? The gap was not enough, and he's managed to get there, so maybe Raffos behind O'Donovan just lost a bit too much time.
I think a big part of that is that Raffos' joker was pretty slow early on, because look at the water into the velodrome section. But I think Raffos just had to discover the grip quite early on. Martin Enlund in the whole race. Oh, Raffos so much understeer as he comes down the hill. Enlund also all sideways.
Very, very deep water down at the bottom here. And you have to excuse us, we're trying to get some sides. But O'Donovan off in the background into the wall. Ollie O'Donovan into the wall at the back. It's as wet. Well, the whole place is just like last year. Raffos tried for a wide line. Can't quite get there. Enlund takes the race, but as you said, Hal, really fantastic racing for us. But in terms of times, 55-second lap times compared to earlier on in the session were just completely different. There is O'Donovan, damage on the 208. He just said to me this morning, I'm just getting used to the car.
So easy to get caught out in these conditions. The aquaplaning you get on a fast tarmac section.
The rain has like just eased off a little bit. You'll have to excuse us if we miss ending that race. The equipment here is getting soaking wet. And we're looking at putting walls up on the back now to keep it off the commentary gear. We don't want to go off air. Enlund with the win with a 3:44.4. And now the rain intensifies again. Absolutely caning it down.
Enlund with a 3:44.4.
Yeah, but look where they slide now. They're nowhere near it. Are they all at the very bottom? If we can see page 2, yes.
No, not yet, because Mandy August was in the previous race. But yeah, it is.
Yeah, sorry. Yeah, where are the slick runners? Is that everybody?
August was on slicks.
Yeah, no. So they're the drivers. Yeah, who were on a couple on slicks. Kristoffersson was in that.
August had a spin there. Remember at the bottom of the hill.
Yeah. Thank you to our wonderful team here who are doing their best to get the sides on so we can carry on. We work under pop-up shelters like the ones you see in service areas in rallying.
Look at the water running down the hill here in Lohéac. That's the camera that's sitting on the barrier that gives us those wonderful shots. They're still extracting O'Donovan's car from the barrier. Look at the water coming across the track on the run up to the velodrome. There is massive, massive standing water there now, and look at the water on the grid as well. That is your 8-time World Rallycross champion, Johan Kristoffersson, on pole position, standing in a massive puddle of water. Oh, I feel sorry for the teams in these conditions. There's RX3 teams there in pre-grid with the bonnet up, trying to cover up the engines with umbrellas. Andreas Bakkerud, Joni Tapainen, Patrick O'Donovan, and Ribeiro in this one. This is going to be a fascinating qualifying heat race, isn't it?
Okay, let's have a look at the replays from this one. Hal, I feel for the spectators too, and our TV team that are out there. I mean, the weather this afternoon looks good, but having said that, this is coming 2 hours earlier than they said it would. Enlund round the outside.
Great job from Enlund. He actually had contact from Petter Solberg, which sent the car sideways. Enlund had it squared up and worked well going into turn 2. Hedström was a bit all over the shop, wasn't he, early on? Good opportunistic move from Victor Christensen to get past Hedström early on. Ollie O'Donovan using the more outside line there in the velodrome for the grip. That was indeed Johannes Raffos going around the outside of Höljes Rainmeister, Peter Hedström down the hill. I'm so impressed by Raffos this year. What a star in the making he is. And this is a brilliant, brilliant joker lap for Martin Enlund, who did a stunning job to get to the front of this. We have rain pouring in the commentary position at the moment, hence why Andrew's gone a little bit quiet to deal with that. That's the standing water in the run up the hill to the velodrome section, which is only increasing with the really heavy rainfall here. I cannot imagine that.
I wish I could describe to you what. I really want you to come to the commentary box and see what's going on, even though it's utter carnage, just for you to get an idea. We're literally, the water is pouring in like that here. We've got a brilliant team around us who are rushing around trying to move things. Hal's picking up laptops and stuff to get it out of the way. We've the desk now, we've got a wall on the back of the box. And here we go. So you can see the monitors down the side here. This is our crew, bless them, who are helping us. The back's on. Clara's here seeking shelter. Hal's gone around the front of the desk because everything's getting wet. All our equipment underneath here is wet. And then the monitors, you can see in the side of your picture, the water was pouring in between the two tents. So, yeah, full carnage mode here in commentary. Thank you to the TV team for their brilliant work. No, it's fine. Don't worry, Anna. We came to see the carnage. Don't worry. Our production manager's worried you could see the people. But that was why we came, to see everyone rushing around like mad.
That's an umbrella.
Is that like a Wall's ice cream umbrella?
I think that's blown into the track, hasn't it?
That's a bit brave, isn't it? Is he off for a slushy in this weather? On to the final race of Q4.
It's going to be slushy in this weather.
It is, isn't it? Johan Kristoffersson. You're going to go out and have a look around the paddock in a minute, Hal. Johan Kristoffersson in slot number 1 from Andreas Bakkerud, Joni Tapanen, João Ribeiro and Patrick O'Donovan. All these drivers now, we don't know where they're going to be, but looking at the previous race, not that high up the order. Kristoffersson with a good start on the inside line. Bakkerud's equal to it. Andreas Bakkerud gets ahead. Kristoffersson P2. Ribeiro side by side in the background with Tapanen. Tapanen at the back of the pack. Got to go Joker there. Joni commits early. Goes round the outside of Ribeiro. That's a great decision, but then he's almost in the wall. Ribeiro up the inside. Ribeiro runs deep. Tapanen trying to find a way through. Can't quite get there. Now he's alongside Tapanen. Gets the traction and gets it done. Fantastic racing through the Joker.
Brilliant move from Tapanen in the Joker section. That's exactly what you need to do if you want to be at the front of the order. Look at the mist on the windscreen of Johan Kristoffersson. He's got visibility issues already in this race. He cannot see a thing coming down the hill. Listen to the revs as he's in the front of the
Bakkerud's off into the gravel. Kristoffersson in the inside, in the water. Patrick O'Donovan in the background looking to pick up the pieces. Kristoffersson trying to go inside. Now inside Bakkerud gets it. Bakkerud's door. The water over the front though. Absolute carnage. Look at the standing water now through, just like last year.
Look at the brake lights flicking on and off Andreas Bakkerud's car. He's just managing the brake pedal with his left foot, trying to keep the car in check. Kristoffersson's windscreen is fully misted up, Andrew. If we ride on board with the leader again, we'll see exactly that. There it is. Wow, that's on with Bakkerud at the moment. You can just see Kristoffersson here. We're relying on the lights as well in front of him. Every time Kristoffersson brakes, that'll give him a better marking. But I think Johan Kristoffersson is really struggling for visibility.
Look at the camera shot. You can see him. Let's see when we see Johan's on board again. This is Johan. We want to see the other one. See how the windscreen. They're nothing. He can't see anything. Johan's screen, as Hal said, look here, I think he hit the barrier there, Hal.
He did,
the way the car moved.
This is like driving in the thickest fog on Rally GB, isn't it? He just cannot see a thing. They're so cautious. O'Donovan, so tentative in the background as well.
O'Donovan just survived. Who's Joker? I don't even know. Tapanen has been in, and he is 6.6 off.
There is wide.
Yeah, so
wow.
It
at
is
the bottom of the hill, huge puddle.
It's as wet as the finals were last year, isn't it? It really is. Into turn 1 comes Kristoffersson. I don't know how he's doing this. I really don't. Passes down for the race. O'Donovan goes Joker, but he's going to be too late to cover off Tapanen. Joni Tapanen going to get through. No mistakes from Patrick, and he's just keeping it out of the wall. Remember, he's in the TQ spot at the minute, Hal. Just got to keep the car in one piece. I know he's going to drop down the order, but still no damage.
Is he, though? Because if he can go quicker than Rafos... Oh, I don't know. It's too complicated.
Hal's just looked at it and given up immediately on the live maths.
How is Johan Kristoffersson hanging on to this polo when he cannot see a thing? This is thousands of laps around Höljes, feeling your way around. Bakkerud doing everything he can as well.
OK, you're on board again with Johan as he comes around the final corner. That's the start gantry on the right. You can see in the shadows. I genuinely...
Joker will be hard now, Andrew.
Yeah, it's really tough,
isn't it?
Here we go. Kristoffersson then to the Joker. He's got to run the car a little bit deep here. Gets into the inside. That is outrageous.
Look at him feeling where he is. He's making little inputs on the steering just to feel where the curb is on the inside. Tapanen hasn't done enough. He's going to close on the back of set.
Oh, he's looking inside for Bakkerud. Bakkerud, though, going to hold the curbs there. Tapanen Steam spinning off the tyre as he goes through that inside puddle.
They are 10 seconds a lap slower than Kristoffersson was going yesterday in dry conditions.
What about the previous race? How, yeah, Kristoffersson was 54 points something.
45.1 was what Baby was doing, and they're doing 53 ones now. So, yeah, miles behind, absolute miles.
I think Ruukkonen's going to be TQ. He was in P8 overall, and everybody else has gone in the wet. I'm pretty sure Ruukkonen's going to get TQ. That's my live maths guess for you. Kristoffersson takes a checker flag, but it's in a different calendar month than the previous heats are. Halfway through this session, if you've only just joined us, the heavens open. The radar said an hour. Those of us wearing shorts said, I think it might be drizzling, and then before you knew it, everybody having utter... He's opened the door, look, trying to get some... You're trying to reach the screen now, I think, with his glove. Yeah, he is. There you go. If we look at Kristoffersson's onboard the other way, you'll see him cleaning the screen with his gloves. Forward-facing one. Oh, we can't see it, it's left-hand side of the screen, but he's desperately trying... There you go, there is his glove, just bottom right, bottom left of your screen. Desperately trying to clean it. I've seen this in rallying before, how they make a device using a broomstick and a bit of sponge just to clean the screen while they're going along. If you get any dampness in the car, particularly on race suits and boots, it will just steam up immediately, so you just try and stay in the car as much as you can. Kristoffersson takes the win. I don't know how he saw where he was going, but he got it done. Bakkerud P2, Tapanen, O'Donovan and Ribeiro. Baby wins the session from Johan, Ruukkonen, then it's Anton Sepper, Vollen, Turenne, Paye, Pleskavas, Munich, Moser, but the one we want to see, of course, is the rankings after Q4.
But Turenne was plumb last, Andrew, coming into this session.
Yeah, no, it's going to be well inside. Going to be well inside. So Tannervik, Janssen, Linneman, look at Kristoffersson down in P17, Tapanen P19. Patrick O'Donovan, the overnight TQ, P22. Stay with us. We'll have the standings after the replays.
Contact between your titled protagonists at the moment, Kristoffersson and Bakkerud in the run to the first corner. Bakkerud would go wide at the bottom of the hill later on. Hopefully we see that. Tapanen went wide on the way in. Good job from Johan Ribeiro to get up the inside of the Fiesta, but then great opportunistic move to get past Ribeiro on the exit from Tapanen using all of his youth and experience. That was Bakkerud running wide into the massive bow wave. There is Kristoffersson landing on the front wheel. He'll get back up the inside of Bakkerud here in the final corner. Look at the water, it's just absolutely absurd, isn't it? How much fell during that session? We said it was coming, didn't we? And it was super dry at the start of this one. O'Donovan did well to keep the car out of the big gravel trap, bounced through that big puddle on the outside. This is Bakkerud's joker later on. Bakkerud did a stellar job there, just like Kristoffersson did. Tapanen had a good look at his stablemate, but there was nothing doing. I'll talk about these replays. I'm still looking up the timing screen trying to work out what's going to happen. But I think Rafos might be TQ, but let's see. That's who my money's on. Kristoffersson made it to the end despite that terrible visibility. Fantastic job from all of these drivers to make it to the end.
Here we go then, let's finally take a look at the standings after a chaotic Q4, and it is Juha Ruukkonen without a session win who takes the TQ. We got a dry run in here. Baby look with two shocking sessions, but 2 wins, ends up P2. Fabian Paye, overnight TQ, dropped down thanks to missing his joker, back up thanks to being in the early race. Bakkerud holds on for P4, Linneman, brilliant P5, O'Donovan drops from TQ to P6, Kristoffersson still inside. Remember, these 8 drivers will be on the front row of the quarterfinals. Rennie Munich in P8, brilliant job by him. On then to page 2, Tapanen in P9, then it's Enlund, Rafos, Kasper Janssen, Vollen, Hedström, Mandigos, Christensen. That's going to be your row 2s, I think. And then if we move on to another page, here we go. And we get ourselves down to Sepper, Ribeiro, Oliveira, and Ollie. O'Donovan just makes the cut. Ollie is in. Moser, Philip Turenne didn't quite make it despite getting that good result in the final session. Tom Daniel Tannervik and Bart Bell will take no further part. Ollie O'Donovan just makes the cut in P24. That was a wild ride. Go on, Hal. I mean, what's your thoughts?
Well, I thought Rafos was going to be top based on the fact he was 4th and quite close, but he's actually like, I don't know, 12 or something. So wrong I was.
I was very pleased with my wild guess. Hal, that might be the maddest session we've done, I think.
Yeah, but bonkers, and it's going to be tough for these guys as well because they're in RX3, RX4, RX5, they've got half the traction.
So who are you going to speak to?
I don't know.
24 candidates out there. 30 if you want to speak to the 28, the ones you want to speak to the ones who didn't make it.
Wherever the most shallow puddles are.
Yeah, all right, mate, get you. Get your wellies on. Hal Ridge is heading out. Clara Anderson joins me in commentary. She's been in here with us for the absolute carnage that was that session. Dylan DeFass on the inside, then it's Thiago Ferreira, Andre Sousa, Ney and Strebinger on the outside. Let me get my soaking wet paperwork turned over to the right page. Clara, how's it going?
Good.
Did you get some videos of everything that was going on?
Yeah, it was carnage, on track, off track, I mean...
Yeah, everything, absolutely everything. The guys had just gone off and got themselves a coffee after the hard work of hanging up the curtain behind us and everything. It was mad indoors and out. Okay, on to RX3, front wheel drive. Obviously this is going to be tough work. At the minute, Thiago Ferreira, who's on the inside getting the whole shot, is in P15 overall. Sousa is well inside. Andre Sousa is sitting in P9. So it really is Ferreira that needs a good result here, but I mean with 2 DNFs and a P12, I think it's a big ask, but in these conditions you never know. And this is hard work in a front-wheel drive car.
Absolutely. I mean the rain that has come has torn up like the full track. It's so slippery, especially on the tarmac on the rubber side, but also the gravel going into turn 4 or 5. It's like soap. So yeah. Keen to see what Strebinger can do with an early joker. It's always good when you don't know the track condition if you can do an early joker while the front guys just figure it out.
I don't already, I mean, I say, yeah, no, it does already look slightly better. Yeah, if you think it was hammered, it was really a carbon copy of last year's finals, wasn't it, that weather? You were out in the semis last year, weren't you? And it was absolutely just hosing there.
Yeah, like the sky just open. It's aquaplaning. Happy that Ollie is okay, because down that hill it's so easy to get that aquaplaning, and then you're just a passenger.
So actually thinking about Ollie O'Donovan's car, he's made it in P24. It was Patrick last time where they had to get the car repaired in time in Hungary, so they might have a little bit of work on their hands to get that ready for the next one. It didn't look a massive impact, but he was in the barriers on the far side of the gravel trap.
And it's so short breaks between Q4 and the quarterfinal. You really need all the time in the world to prep the cars.
What have they got? 3, 4, 5... okay, hold on, 6. They've got 7 races.
Yeah.
6, maybe 8. Yes, 8. Yeah, 8 races.
Yeah, that's not a lot.
No, so what's that? We're looking at 5 minutes to race. They might have 40 minutes to get that car fixed up and ready to go in the quarterfinals.
Yeah.
So, yeah, a lot of work. Oh, if he's in P24, I think he'll be in quarterfinal 4, which might give them an extra 15. But okay. So yeah, Hal will be out in the paddock and will bring us the stories, I'm sure. It's going to be a very mixed reaction. You know, for the Rukkonen, yeah, he was in that first race. He's never going to have expected that, is he? They were probably expecting the track conditions were going to get better through the session. Sousa, you can see coming out the joker here with DeFass in front, but DeFass hasn't jokered. DeFass gets a bit sideways here. Yeah, really struggling. It's like a switch, the throttle, isn't it, in a front-wheel drive car, and it just moves out or comes in.
Exactly.
So yeah, there is a lot going on, and we'll bring you the stories from RX1 in the background of this racing as well. Thiago Ferreira leads by 4.4 seconds. This is what Ferreira needs, but he now needs a really good joker as well, because as I say, at the minute he's in P15 and only the top 12 go through to the semi-finals.
Yeah, it's showing good pace, Ferreira. About, half a second faster than everyone. Just went 4 times quicker on lap 3.
I mean, an idea, I think, of the way the conditions are changing. He's only about 2 seconds off the lap time of the supercars. So, bearing in mind he's in a Super 1600 two-wheel drive in the wet, you can imagine how wet and awful it must have been in that final race.
Yeah.
Ferreira through the joker cleanly. Wonder if he can just drag himself into the top 12. He'll get absolutely over the moon. I'm sure he does. Sousa on the lock stops through the left and the right.
Did well to hold on to that.
Yeah. You know what? Oh, it's funny, isn't it? I love it when we get a bit challenged. Obviously the drivers are out there being challenged, but when the water's in here, a brilliant team around us putting up curtains, and all the paperwork flying about in the wind, we're all moving around the other side of the desk. It kind of feels like the whole event is in the same boat. You know, they're changing tyres, everyone's fighting the weather.
And it's rallycross. I mean, the conditions change like corner to corner, lap to lap.
Yeah.
It's you need to be prepared for everything. And going out in these conditions, probably you don't have the ideal setup, but you just need to manage.
And that was everything, wasn't it? You need to be prepared for everything. We got everything in the same race. Okay, Ferreira with the wiper going. Everybody full wipers, full wet. His time 3:55.5. Just looking yesterday, nothing was that wet for RX3 yesterday. Thumbs up from Ferreira. Got the job done here from Susan Pastrebic and Nay. It's still very wet out on track, but it is it's better than it was 5 minutes ago when RX1 was out on track. Hal Ridge is down in the paddock.
We're down here at Team RX Racing, just having a look at the massive amount of sand that's outside Ollie O'Donovan's tent. Ollie, last time out in Hungary, it was a big effort for the guys to get the car repaired for Patrick between Q4 and quarterfinals. There's actually quite a lot of damage to the front of your 2.8. First of all, those conditions super difficult. Talk us through what happened.
Yeah, I mean, I don't think I deserved to have that bang. I was being very cautious. I wasn't pushing by no means, but 100% my own fault. I stalled the engine coming down the hill, and I tried to get it fired up and it just wouldn't fire. I contemplated on giving it the handbrake, going sideways. I didn't want to roll the car, so I ended up head on.
And there's a lot of damage, isn't there? There's chassis legs are bent. The guys are looking at changing the gearbox mounts at the moment. It's going to be a big ask to get back out for the quarters.
I don't think so. I think the boys will get it. I mean, geometry, I'd say the wheels are pretty straight. Yes, the front chassis are bent, the intercooler's gone, the gearbox mounts are broke, but it's everything they can fix, and I think these boys can do it. If anybody will do it, these boys are going to get it done.
Good luck, Ollie. Thank you.
Thank you very much.
I love to hear that confidence from Ollie and the team. We're working so hard for him. I'm disappointed for him. I saw him this morning. He was so smiley. He's like, I was P12 in warm-up, happy with that in these conditions.
Yeah.
And he said he wasn't trying, but you stalled the engine and you're sitting in a toboggan.
Yeah, you're just a passenger. I mean, you're going down the hill. It's pretty fast down that hill, and just to feel everything aquaplaning, it's not the best feeling in the world.
No. British Gerkless in this one with Marcus Rosrud, Nicholas Gellins, Vaclav Tuma and Jan Dvorak. Gerkless won in exactly these conditions last year here and was very good yesterday in the damp, wasn't he?
Yeah. Let's see what he can do from pole. It's not the best starting position on the wet, but let's see.
Lovely insight from Clara Anderson, who I desperately hope we're going to see competing again later this year. Great to have her alongside in commentary this weekend. Hal Ridge as well, bringing those stories from the pits. Oh, just feather in the throttle, and Gerkless has gone backwards. Rosrud's got the best start here. Gerkless, I think, might go joker from there.
Yeah,
if he's going to be right inside of Gellins, you're not going to get in. He might as well go.
Oh.
I would have committed to that earlier.
Yeah,
I would have committed to that earlier. It's a little bit of contact. He's tidy in the joker.
Great entry.
I'm really impressed with him in the wet. I know we're only 3 corners in. He'd probably drop it now. But no, he won't, because yesterday was brilliant. And look at that. Gellins is across the dirt on the inside, but he's got great feel for the grip level.
Yeah, you can see that the traction compared to many other cars. It's like go-kart driving with the silver gloves on.
Yeah.
Really
with your little fingers, little pinky fingers out. Yeah, like drinking a posh tea in the UK, you know, like afternoon tea with your little pinkies out. You're literally just almost fingertipping it to feel what the grip levels are. You're hanging onto the wheel properly, but it's in terms of the effort you're putting in. So Gerkless closing down on Gellins here. Obviously separate teams, so there's no, Gellins hasn't got to get out of the way or anything.
Look at that standing water in the last corner.
Horrendous. Rosrud's gone joker, so this will be to cover off behind Gerkless, and Gerkless is in traffic. That's a good decision. Yeah. And actually, Rosrud goes joker and comes back out in the lead. So Rosrud doing a brilliant job here.
Really good first lap, especially when you have no idea about the grip condition.
Yeah. As we said many times yesterday, he was the top qualifier here last year on his debut in RX3. He's had a reasonable year, but not quite to the standards we saw from him at Höljes last time round. Tuma trying to find a way around Dvorak at the back of the pack. Gellins aquaplaning down the hill. You can just see they run wide. If you've got a teammate or another car out before you, how much information do you get?
As much as I can. I always try to give, with me and Niklas, we always try to give as much as we can from each other. And also for the spotter, like when you cross the finish line, just to tell how the car is, if you have time to change anything for Niklas, if he's not down on grid already. But for sure, it's a team effort and just trying to help each other achieve the easiest car possible.
Lap 3 out of 4, got another one to come yet, and Tima's too late on the brakes, collects Dvorak, but just about holds on. This is the left and the right before they get to the velodrome up at the far end. Tima trying the high line around the outside.
It's very interesting with the velodrome. It's so many different lines that you can take.
We saw earlier Linnemann's line. I don't know if you were watching at that moment, if you're out and about in the paddock, but Linnemann tried he went really deep on this hairpin here, almost a karting line.
Yeah,
He turned the hairpin into a point, got amazing traction out, and blasted up the inside on the exit. So yeah, there are, as you say, alternate lines, but it's made so much more complex, isn't it, by standing water, dust X, gravel being dragged out, everything really.
Gerklus get lanes coming from the Joker. This corner is so slippery because it's downhill, so all the water is just gathering in turn 5 before the bellow jump. It's so slippery.
Rosrud miles out front. We were busy watching Gerklus on the first lap, but it looks to me like Rosrud was doing an even better job out front. This is...
big slide.
Big slide in the background, yeah. Gerklus just about holding on from Gellens. Rosrud going to come round and take the win. Marcus Rosrud. Look at the dirt that's been dragged out as well on the hairpin here.
That tells you how much they are cutting in that last corner.
Yeah, just trying to find grip again. Hook. It's like ditch cutting in ditch hooking in rally.
Yeah.
Just stick a wheel inside and try and pull the car in.
And some curbs.
There we go. So Gerklus going to head back. Let's take a quick look at this. Sorry to interrupt, Clara. Rosrud taking the win from Gerklus by 5.6 seconds. That is a brilliant time. Gellens, Timmy, Dvorak. Where's Hal Ridge?
Johan, I'm still looking at the result sheets up to Q3, and they're totally irrelevant now, of course, but you've had a really poor weekend up until Q4, but you had the best of the conditions, made the most of them, and your top qualifier. It can change so quickly, can't it?
Oh, yes, Höljes is never know what happened, and now we pay back to what yesterday happened, and looks better.
The guys are working hard. Your car is super clean and no damage. The guys are working hard on the setup. I see anti-roll bar changes front and rear, some different dampers to go on as well. What are you expecting the weather to do? And we've got a little while now before the quarters, so what are you doing setup-wise?
Yes, we changed something, but we don't 100% sure what we need to do because I'm not driving the full wet these dampers. But yeah, we try and hope that works.
Thank you, good luck.
Thank you.
So big setup changes, but not full setup changes, crucially. They're going for a middle-of-the-road setup, it seems. Julien Meunier on the inside line, currently the top qualifier, winning 2 of the 3 sessions yesterday. Then Kragas 3rd, Kovacs currently 5th, Höljes currently 6th, and Senegaknek currently 4th. Yeah, not full wet, he said. We're doing what we can do. I guess there's probably maybe not enough time to go full wet, but also if it dries up this afternoon, you don't want to do all that work and then have to undo it again in another hour or 2.
Yeah, exactly, and it's so unpredictable in Höljes. You need to go out, look at the sky before you go and...
have a crack at it.
Yeah.
I personally think the quarters are still going to be well wet, but it's, you know, it's still... I think it's still... Well, yeah, it's still raining out there.
Yeah. Great start from Höljes.
Yeah, Tejere is amazing. P3's the favourite on the grid, isn't it, in the dry?
Yeah.
Tejere has got there, little tap there for Kovacs. Kovacs is sideways in turn 1. I thought Kovacs was going to dive off to the Joker there, but it's Kragas that goes Joker instead. Little battle, and now everybody into line. Julien Meunier has dropped down into P4, so no Meunier needed, but he's in a solid TQ spot, Clara. He's 20 points clear. Everyone's in the same conditions. Yes, he'll want to get up the order here, and as I say that, he dives straight up the inside of Senegaknek. That might be job done, but as you said, look at the grip round the outside.
He did well to break there and just keep it safe. He will be probably top qualifier. Just keep the car on the road.
Yeah, that's my thoughts as well.
Yeah.
No risks here. Does jump to the outside. Just about, he's gone round the outside. That's a great move from Meunier. That's, Senegaknek's pushed him in the door a bit there.
Yeah. Not letting him pass easy.
No, I think Meunier is offline again now on the run to turn 1. So if I remember, if Senegaknek doesn't go, he should. Kovacs has gone, but in the background, has Meunier gone as well? Yes, he has.
Yeah.
That's, if you're going to get in a scrap, especially when we're saying he needs to stay safe, good decision. Oh, very close here between Kovacs and Kragas. Kragas going to move up into P3.
fair move from Kovacs there to not completely close.
Inside, Kovacs having a look back at Kragas.
Great move.
Yeah, and then pushes him up wide. Lovely stuff.
Yeah, and that push, I mean, I think it's just understeer from the front wheel drive.
Yeah,
so.
they're probably both. You see, don't you normally see a contact and the car move in a different way? Meunier's taken a really different line in the background on the brakes. He's coming across from the normal racing line and braking straight to the apex.
Yeah, that's just to avoid the rubber, get better braking performance, and then cuts with a straight car over the rubber.
There we go. You see, Clara knows. I knew she would. So yeah, Meunier in the black and white Audi at the back of these three is your championship leader, the double winner, the current TQ man here. So he really, of all the four classes, Meunier for me is the only driver who is dominating his category. Yeah. The others are pretty open.
Höljes is doing some really solid lap times, down to the 54s.
Yeah, Roswood did a 54.7, and that's where Höljes is now. Tricky, isn't it? Honestly, if I was Meunier, I don't know that I'd be bothering to pass.
No.
I really don't.
He goes on the outside down the hill. He wants to give us a show.
Yeah, he does, yeah. I mean, Gillian, we're not complaining. He's going to have a look at the inside now of Kragas. Now he goes outside. He's trying, he literally, Kragas has got his mirrors absolutely full of Gillian Meunier. But there isn't a way through. At least he's racing, you know? Yeah. I mean, fair enough, but with a 20-point lead in qualifying, in the qualifying standings, I might not bother. I think he's going to end up P5 here, I'm afraid. Let's see what happens as Senna Gatnick comes out the Joker. Oh, Meunier might get through on the inside here, but he can't see. He's unsighted and he's too quick in. Maybe went for outside to inside, not going to be there. So Meunier going to end up P5 here, but I don't think it's going to see him at the bottom of the pack in the session. And I still personally think he'll be in the TQ spot, but let's see. Höljes miles out front.
Look at that, 54.1 for Höljes on lap 3.
So is that track conditions? Because it looks pretty similar to me.
Yeah, and I think, the rain is still coming.
I'd say it's worse, maybe.
Yeah, it's so hard to say. He's doing a great job in front.
So Höljes crosses the line, takes the win to 348.7. He's not the quickest. 347.8 was the quickest, as you can see. So Roswood takes the session. Höljes with an epic lap just before, but I wonder if the conditions there. Look at Höljes' last lap. Did he joke on the last?
Yep,
no, yeah, he did. Sorry, yes, he joked on the last lap. My bad. Höljes. And then Kovacs, Kragas, Senna Gatnick and Meunier. We've got here then Gillian Meunier confirmed as the top qualifier, Rittis Gerklis P2, Marcus Rosra P3, and you can see there how important it is to win those sessions. Kragas, Kovacs, Höljes, Senna Gatnick and Gellins. Let's have a look at who's made the cut. So Souza, Tuma, Dvorak and De Vasserin. Tiago Pereira did make his way up from P15 to P13. But unfortunately not enough to make it through to the semi. So those are your semi-final drivers for RX3 as we continue to struggle with the rain here at Höljes, and Hal Ridge is down on the grid.
It's still raining. It's not raining quite as much as it was. We're down here ahead of the first RX4 race. If you look at the surface, there's channels of water running in each of the grid slots. We looked at pole just before we came on air. Pole is definitely still the wettest. There's an apex in the grid slot, so the water's actually running to the outside. P5, I think, later on will be a challenge as well. But yeah, such a variety of conditions. If you look up towards the first corner, there's just so much water on the loose surface section, and you just don't know where the grip's going to be when you get off the line. You start on tarmac, go straight onto loose, and then you just get a bundle of wheel spin in these conditions.
Thank you, Hal. Well done, mate. Good stuff down there. Go get some shelter. There he is on the right-hand side of your picture, Hal, with Claudia, a fantastic camerawoman down there, and they're running off. It's very deep water down there. Don't run through that grass, please. Andrea Benazet in this from Halshen Deng, Albert Koch, and Anna Rusek. Saw Anna this morning. She gave me a wave and a thumbs up. RX4 is our new category, which is these rally car-based rallycross cars, so much more cost-effective than RX3 is. Benazet yesterday had an absolute shocker of a day. A P8, a P8, and then a P5, so not made it into the second heat all day long, in terms of lap times at least, or finishing times. Very low rumble from the anti-lag here. Benazet gets away really nicely in slot one, and that's not the favoured one, is it?
No, so he did very well, and the engineers as well to modify that launch.
On the back of the pack, you can see Lousada has actually had her air vent on the roof taped up, and that's to stop loads of mud and water coming in while she's driving around. She goes Joker. And Haochen Deng has gone in as well, so it's Albert Koch and PT. Look at that left foot in on the brakes. And it's not representative there because the brake light's on the whole time, but actually the brake pressure will be changing the whole way through there.
Exactly. When you start to lock up, you just need to release a little bit and just catch the brakes back. It's really tricky.
You get a feel for it, don't you, through your foot. And remember, these guys will all be left foot braking.
Yeah.
Or nearly everybody will be left foot braking. Don't try that in traffic if you haven't done it before. As a general, you'll end up spamming your own windscreen. All the bollards, look, every one of the don't cut bollards is being nailed in the last corner. Benazet, 1.5 up the road, takes another 10th out of Koch in that last sector. Haochen Deng 6.4 at the back. I mean, I was going to say I'd be tempted to joke and just get it done, but I guess they might as well continue circulating if they're going to edge that gap up. There you go, they're in on the left foot, and then they say there will be several changes of pressure to flick the car around to the right.
Exactly, you just need to get that weight transfer to avoid a spin. And you see Koch going a bit on the high line, searching for grip.
And then a tiny bit of left foot braking again, wasn't it, to kill the wheel spin. Look how close they are to the barriers down the hill. That camera lens is pretty dirty. I think Hal should go and clean it.
Yeah, I think so too. Maybe run there also.
It's like racing in slow motion, isn't it? Johan said to me last year about racing the way how much he really enjoys it, because it's like slow motion. I don't know that he would have enjoyed that last one, Clara. I don't know how he could see where he was going. I really don't.
It was a masterclass from Johan. Definitely.
We get a few of those, don't we? Albert Koch was 1.6 behind as he goes into the Joker. Haochen Deng 5.7 off. Let's see where Haochen Deng is compared. Yeah, that's a good move, but it's too late. Haochen Deng here slots into P2. I'm really impressed with the Chinese driver. Really impressed.
Yeah.
Do you think the set lot maybe should have jokered Koch a lap earlier?
Maybe. You can see I think he's over pushing a little bit and losing the rear. And it's so hard. I don't know if these guys have been out on the wet this year.
I can't remember if they went out yesterday in the rain. I can't remember what I had for breakfast, to be honest. But when you drove the car on Friday, was it wet or dry or damp?
Damp.
Damp. Now was it?
It was fine. I mean, the rear is basically, since you have so much torque in the front, you try to manage the rear to just get the car to steer that you can carry a lot of speed throughout the corners. But I really liked it. It's a brilliant car, and you see Benazet doing a stellar job, just what he needs to move up the order.
Yeah, Benazet, lovely. Look at this. Look, dead straight line, turning the car in, waiting. Albert Koch sideways again.
Yeah.
But I do like the fact that Albert's a bit of an attacker.
Yeah. Go for it.
Through this long left-hander is so easy to get on the throttle too early and just run the car wide in a front-wheel drive, even with the all-wheel drive cars.
Yeah, it's so easy.
Yeah, we've seen you guys before, particularly the electric cars last year. If you get on the throttle too much, it would just sit and spin.
Yeah.
Benazet through the final corner. This is the first race of our last qualifying session for RX4. He runs the car out wide. That's a trick to try to get to the timing line quicker with a two-wheel drive car. Anna Lousada coming into the last corner. If you missed us yesterday, she works as a vet during the week, an ophthalmic veterinarian. So working on the eyes of animals, which I think is pretty incredible. She's ever so nice. I was really nervous when we went to interview her, and we were like, no, don't be silly, you're fine. Cool, the wind's picking up, isn't it? Let's have a look at the results then. Andrea Benazet, Haochen Deng, Albert Koch, and Anna Lousada. Benazet finally with a good result, and I think that might be enough for him to win the session. Johan Kristoffersson, we were talking about just a few moments ago, is with Hal Ridge.
Johan, this weekend keeps on giving from a neutral's point of view. Absolutely crazy conditions in that one. The guys are behind us, taping up the gaps in the car. It looked like you had absolutely no visibility in Q4.
No, unfortunately not. We had a brand new windscreen in, which used to have some very, very good anti-fog on, but yeah, it's been a day of when some don't have their best days, and probably the guy that prepared this windscreen didn't have his best day. So yeah, no, it's I mean, you get a little bit like when you get emotional is because of that you are actually getting a little bit scared. And this heat I was a little bit scared. Down the hill and stuff, it's not very comfortable going down there with so low visibility, basically, 0 to none. So yeah, that was not a nice heat. So just a reset now, and hopefully, have a good start again in the quarterfinal.
Thank you, and good luck for the quarters.
Thank you.
That is real honesty there from an 8-time world champion, in my opinion, one of the best drivers in the world, saying, I was a bit scared. He said, if you get emotional, it means you're a bit scared. And Clara, I think, look at it. It's very fair.
Yeah, I mean, you're going down. Yeah, you can see that he even hit the barrier a little bit. I mean, fair play to Johan, because that's gnarly.
Julian Munoz just turned up, which is actually quite a handy time to come and join us, mate. So we'll give you another headset and you can come and join us in here. Clara, stick around as well, obviously. Whichever way you like, mate. At this point in the day, with everything that's going on, we're not too worried about it. Philip Mellon, we've got Solberg, Hansen, Kaplans and Conseil in this one. Let me get back to my grids for this. And we'll get ourselves underway for RX4. Look at the flags, absolutely cracking in the wind. We'll have a catch-up with Julian Munier in a minute, who's leading RX3. Are you heading out, Clara? Yeah, OK, Clara's heading out. Brilliant stuff. Thank you, mate. Much appreciated. Can you hear me?
Yeah, sure.
Yeah, you can hear me. Good. OK, stuff. Good stuff. Just checking the text. So, on the inside here, Philip Mellon. That's where Benazet got the best start from in the last one. And he gets a lovely start again.
Yeah,
so both times there, everybody says they don't favour the inside line, but both cars in that one have got a good start.
That's nice, because the pole is insane. Like, I tried to take the start, but there is a full of water on the inside, so you can do nothing actually. But he managed it well.
Mate, you got the top qualifier spot. I must admit, me and Clara are in it going, Julian, chill out. You don't need to pass anyone. You've got the TQ. You tried everything to make some passes in that, but it's such hard work in these conditions.
Yeah, sure, with the Super 1600 we are too much horsepower on the front, so it's really hard. But yeah, Damien told me also on the radio, Julian, keep it calm, keep it calm. But, I'm a racer. When you have someone in front of you who was slower, you want to pass him.
You know what, we said that as well. We said, although I was like, he should just calm down. I was like, but it is good to see him race. So yeah, we appreciated it, mate. We appreciated it. How hard are the conditions? I think it was at its worst in RX1, but you guys got some heavy rain as well.
Yeah, sure. It's pretty hard, because sometimes you are great, sometimes you lose everything. Like here on the gravel section, it was really, really hard. But yeah, Philip managed it very well. Okay, Joe clap. Okay.
Have you tried one of these cars yet?
No, never. I want to try it because the chassis is really, really good.
Yeah.
Yeah, the horsepower is missed a bit, but the chassis is really good.
Off in the background.
Yeah.
Sideways, a bit of contact. It's Conseil who went off in the background. Marius Solberg Hansen is there as well. Solberg Hansen was so impressive yesterday. 2 wins and a P2 on his debut in the series, sitting third in this one. Philip Mellon last time, of course, got a clean sweep. Thomas Conseil doing a nice job as well. RX4, a great category.
Is it? There is a many future talent here.
I think so too. And the thing is, you know what it's like running an RX3 car. It's not cheap.
Inside.
The inside. There's a look. There's contact there with Philip Mellon. Mellon comes back onto Conseil. Conseil can't quite get there. And Hansen Solberg is there. Solberg Hansen, so I called him that yesterday, trying to pick up the pieces. Solberg Hansen might get through in the background. And he does. Conseil tried the move and ends up P3.
That's a nice try, but yeah, and this weather is really complicated.
And he goes off now. Conseil decides he's got a joker, and with everybody else having done so already, it's now down to whether Solberg Hansen can get a lap in, and Conseil off the barriers.
Yeah, too much throttle on the Hexin for sure. But the start of the joker was pretty well.
Up towards Velodrome with a lap to go. So will Solberg Hansen have a crack at him? He's 10 points clear in qualifying, but from Philip Mellon. So depending on where they finish in this, I think they should be quick enough. Benazet was up there with Hauschen. Deng is well down the order, as is Benazet. I think they'll be fine. I think he can stay in P2 and still get the top qualifier spot. But as you well know, when you're in the car, that doesn't mean a lot.
Look at that.
Yeah, he's having a go. He's having a go. Solberg Hansen up the inside, not going to settle for it, just like Julian Munier wasn't going to settle for it in RX3. Solberg Hansen takes the lead and continues to really impress us all on his RX4 debut.
Look, the light time of Solberg Hansen is really, really good, way quicker than Benazet. Yeah, that's really nice.
Yeah, he usually had 55.4, 55.3 on his last 2 laps, so he's absolutely flying. I think some of the other drivers are going to be asking questions here about how is he so quick. I mean, he's just come in and just got it done.
Yeah, sure.
In the wet, in the dry as well yesterday.
Yeah, I don't know, but we know him. We know it's a good driver. Like in the past, he come in Super 16 in RX3, and he drove it very well. And he do secret racing, I think.
Yeah.
In this moment, it was really quick. It was a really good driver.
Great job by him. Just having some paperwork checks made here by a production manager. You confiscate. Is it wrong? Is it changing?
Yeah, fastest lap.
It is fastest time. Solberg Hansen takes it. Thank you, Julien. As yeah, we've got people running in and out, holding the commentary box down in the wind, and bits of paper flying about all over the place. Quarterfinals coming up, of course, for RX1. Julien Meunier staying with me for a little while through RX5. There it is. Look at the water in the trees. Yeah. Mattias Solberg Hansen, absolutely brilliant. 350.9 goes 2.4 seconds quicker than Benazet. Philip Mellon P2, and I'm pretty sure that we'll see those two first and second in the standings. Here it is. Mattias Solberg Hansen, no lower than P2 through qualifying all weekend. 3 session wins. Brilliant job.
Mellon,
amazing. Yeah, Mellon P2, Conseca Brands, Koch, Deng, Benazet, and Rousek. So 2 4-car semi-finals coming up later on today. Okay, RX5 is up next. This will be known to you as Cross Car if you've been following Rallycross for a long time, and it's also known to anybody who's ever driven one as the worst thing to sit in the pouring rain and the mud, because they are about to get filthy, aren't they?
Yeah, they will feel everything.
Yeah, literally. I promise you, they will be absolutely soaked by turn 1, particularly the car in P3, which is Kovacs, who's running the full grids instead of the plastic windows. So you can see the cars in P1 and 2. Flavio Martins and Paolo Martins are both running what we would call plastic windows. Kovacs has got the grille window, and then Bartlett and Martinez we haven't seen yet. Martinez is currently sitting P4. He was the TQ until a DNF right in the last, second to last corner yesterday. Armin Raag currently in the TQ spot, and we'll see him and Ugar later on. Valentin Comte in P3. So, yeah, the Martins are both P13 and P14, and Bartlett is P15.
But look, the points is really clear. It's really close.
Yeah, so they need a good result here.
Sure. They came back really quickly.
So you'll see some of them wearing motocross goggles, and that's because you have the little chain you can pull on some of those which wipes it, or you can use tear-offs. Great start by Kovacs in the middle. Don't think it's going to be enough to get there, though. On the outside, it's Martinez who's got there first. So Diego Martinez, nicely done. Look at the water, and I say that is just splashing into the cockpit from every angle. It's literally like sitting in a bucket of water.
Yeah, sure. Actually, it's the good weather for the cross kart, I guess, because it's. Someone tell me it's really enjoy when the weather is like this on the cross car. I never tried it before, but I think it's really nice on this condition.
It's a huge amount of fun. Yeah, it's a huge amount of fun. It's not so fun washing the race suit afterwards. I had one that had some white piping on it, you know, around the side. It was a brand new race suit, and it's never ever looked the same after I used it in a wet race for the first time. So. But yeah, it's a lot of fun. So you can see the plastic windows. Some of the guys even got side windows in. The reason people use the grills, they get filthy, but at least it clears the whole time, doesn't it?
Yeah, sure.
Once you get mud on your screen in the Super 1600, it's impossible.
Yeah, sure. It's really hard. And the watering on my car working not very well, so it was pretty hard on this straight, on the first straight.
Yeah, that's the worst.
Yeah.
Especially when you're following, which you're not used to this year, to be fair. You this year, mate, you're the only driver who's dominating their category. You've won both races, you're TQ again here in Sweden. Good season.
Yeah, good season, actually. We hope we will continue like that. My plan actually is to continue on this way. Yeah, sometimes the weather can change a lot of things, like when we saw just the heat before, so...
Wow, okay, the commentary box is literally blowing away. We're going to need some people to come around here and hold it for us. So anybody from TV to come outside and hold the commentary box for us, please. We're going to get, so we need some staff to come and hold on to the commentary box. The wind has just suddenly picked up. Julien is doing a great job of holding on to it as well. We don't want to blow away with it. Martinez still leads out front. Martin's a lap back now. 5.7 as the timing screen updates. You'll have to forgive us, there is a lot going on here, I'm sorry. Martinez over the jump. Martin's and Bartlett have jokered.
I'm a bit surprised they are slower than the RX4. Normally cross kart will be faster on this weather, but actually not.
Maybe traction?
Yeah, maybe. But on this RX4 there is a traction control, so maybe that helped him a lot.
Up and over the crest. Look how filthy the cars are in the background.
Yeah. This corner, the turn 5 is insane. Like, there is no grip on. Also on the dry condition, it's really hard to exit well from him.
Super, super tricky in terms of traction and in terms of the visibility, the grip. Look at this in the background. Martin's almost binning it coming down the hill. Paolo Martin's behind Kovacs here. Kovacs with the grills. You can see now why people run the grills. It's just that much clearer.
Yeah, Martinez do an amazing job actually.
56.6, yeah, so yeah, he's flying, isn't he, at the moment? Yeah. So yesterday, he was outstanding. He P1 and P2, and then that DNF in the next one meant that it was really difficult. So Martinez continues to lead on the final lap. Everybody joking, his gap is 6.5. Martin's round the outside of Kovacs.
Yes.
Yeah, finds the traction. We've seen people taking alternate lines around the hairpins. They're at different grip levels there, aren't they?
I try it also on Senegasnik, and it was starting to working, but on the acceleration you're losing a bit. But now he find the traction, and Kovacs, you saw he lost the front, so it was pretty hard for him to find the traction.
Martinez with the checkered flag already gone. Listen to the RPM spiking as they come through that last corner. So Martinez sets the pace here in the first race of RX5, 3:53.6, and we'll have to see how quick everyone else can go. He was the benchmark yesterday. Will he be the benchmark again today? Let's get down to Hal Ridge and Clara Anderson, who are down on the pre-grid.
We're on the entry to pre-grid down here, and Clara, we've been through all of the qualifying stages. Now it really counts. Quarterfinals, the knockout session, semi-finals, finals. You've been in this position many times before in the World Championship. It's a whole different feeling now, isn't it? Because you know you really have to deliver over the next few laps.
Absolutely. I mean, you could have had all the pace all the weekend, but one mistake or one puncture or whatever in a quarterfinal, and you're leaving here at maybe 24th. So yeah, high pressure for all the drivers, especially now with the different conditions. I think it will see some chaos.
We're seeing several mechanics walking around the pre-grid, changing tyre pressures. There's drivers changing settings on the dash. It really matters now. This is maybe the most important start you've done all weekend, especially with the new quarterfinals, because like you say, you can be absolutely nowhere, or you progress to the next stage and potentially be on the podium later on this afternoon.
Exactly, and I mean, the rain has stopped, the sun is coming up, and it's so hard to know what the grip level would be out there.
Yeah, it's going to be wild, isn't it? We need to continue though with RX5. Back to Andrew.
Thank you, Hal. Thank you, Clara. We've got everybody out there in the waterproofs. We've got things going on here in commentary as well. This is blowing in here at the back. I've got my foot on the bottom of the shelter. I was hanging on up here a minute ago. Julien Meunier was also holding onto the shelter up here. So, yeah, forgive me if it's not my greatest work ever. We're doing all right. We're doing all right. We're still on air. Everything's fine. Everything's fine. Okay, on the inside, Otto Horvath, who made a great Joker strategy work yesterday. Then it's Marin Lohéac, Brian Neumeier, Marek Michik, and Teddy McPherson. So we've seen slot number 1 was good in RX4. Eyes on the lights. Might be the last thing you get to see before you're absolutely covered in mud on the run to the first corner. You really do want to stay out of that field if you can. Visibility is absolutely key just to finishing the race. Oh no, it's a stall on the inside. Disaster for Horvath. Great start from P4 from Marek Michik in the white car. And Michik's got the visibility now in the background. Horvath is away. Michik runs a little bit deep, but gets back to the inside line. 3 cars are spinning on the standard lap. Into the Joker lap goes Lohéac. That is number 19, which is McPherson. So McPherson went round in turn 1, and Horvath has gone Joker as well. Horvath is stalled at the start. So Horvath here might have a bit of a result in that McPherson has spun in front yet. Horvath is past McPherson already, but not past Lohéac, who went in the Joker. Sometimes if you have a stall at the start, you can get away with it later in the race. Make up a bit of time. Michik, oh no, sideways again. Neumeier hanging on to it. Right on the lock stops in his cross car in the background. RX5 in these conditions, so tricky. Inside line, Neumeier runs deep. Lohéac looks up. Lohéac trying to come through. Has got it done as they cross over the line. So Lohéac moves into the lead. No, he's not in the lead, is he? Yeah, no, Biķernieki's still in the lead. There we go, Biķernieki. There's something going on with the timing system. Probably the weather, to be honest. Sideways into the Joker lap for Neumeier. Biķernieki continues to lead by 0.9 from Lohéac, but Lohéac has already jokered, so Biķernieki really struggling to hang on to things, as I've been struggling to hang on to the shelter. But now I have my friend Clara Anderson back. Hi, Clara. How was that?
That was fun. You can sense the pressure on the pre-grid now.
Really?
Yeah, ahead of the quarterfinals.
Everybody getting ready?
Yeah.
Yeah. Any news on O'Donovan, Ollie? Did you walk past the tent on the way back?
Yeah, I think it looks all right.
Okay. Biķernieki here with Lohéac all over him. Lohéac will be absolutely getting pasted. And Biķernieki, I wouldn't have gone Joker either, because you've got visibility at the minute. You might as well stay out. This time he goes in. Lohéac with the fastest lap will now take the lead. So Lohéac with a great job. Oh, and a spin for Biķernieki. Well, we've seen, I think, 3 of the 4 cars have had a spin in this, and the closing speed did so well to avoid. That was, I think it's Neumeier. It is. Yeah. Neumeier did so well to avoid him there.
Absolutely. And in these railway-driven cars where you have all the weight in the back also, I mean, it's so tricky.
Mistake by Neumeier on the inside line. He's got wheels on the gravel in the background. Might get past here. Biķernieki behind Lohéac. Where's Horvath? Not close enough to Neumeier, it seems. No, too far back. You can see Horvath coming into the jump next. 1 more lap to go. All of these laps feel hard in these conditions, in these cars.
Interesting lines from Lohéac in the last corner. He really went wide and tried to search for the grip on the outside, and looks like he got the traction. Another fastest lap from Lohéac, 56.4.
Great drive out front. Marin Lohéac I spoke to on Friday, and he was saying how much of a prototype the cross car is with 11 Motorsport. Look at that, the speed in. Neumeier's got great speed in, backing it in on the brakes, but then seemingly couldn't find it on the exit. Gets inside this time on Biķernieki. Biķernieki runs up high and finds the traction there. Julien Meunier was in here with me a minute ago, and we were really seeing high traction, high in the velodrome.
Ah, okay.
Whether it'll work in every category, of course, we don't know. We've got the quarterfinals coming up for RX1. That's going to see you through to the semis this afternoon, then a bit of a break, which I think is much needed for everybody. We've got a man on the floor behind us frantically tie-wrapping bits of the shelter down. They're doing a brilliant job. Thank you so much to the whole team here who are working in incredibly difficult conditions, as are the drivers and the engineers. Marin Lohéac, 3:51.3, goes faster than Martinez as well, so there it is, the time. Marek Biķernieki and Brian Neumeier, Otto Horvath, Teddy McPherson, your top 5 there. Mistakes for a few people, but Lohéac gets the win. Let's get down to Howell Ridge.
Martin Enlund, I'm walking with your cars, you're pushed into pre-grid. This has been a wild Magic weekend, hasn't it? What can you do from here in the quarterfinals?
Yeah, let's see what the weather brings up. I mean, it doesn't really matter, you're just gonna face the conditions that there is, so yeah, let's see. I'm just open to everything at the moment.
Good luck, mate. Good to see you, Martin. As we look back down the pre-grid, I'm going to have a quick word with this man on his return to the European Championship this weekend, Petter Hedström. Peter, you've done thousands and thousands of laps around here, but this weekend's been super challenging, hasn't it? What are your hopes for the quarterfinals?
I don't know. I feel not the car we have changed so lots of things. And we have never drive this car on wet before and this tire before, so I don't know. We will start easy and try to step up.
Thank you, Peter. There's so much nerves down here. Andrew, back to you.
Thanks, Hal. Yeah, very much captured there with Peter's reaction. As we changed a lot of things. I think everyone is rolling the dice here in terms of what they run on the car, what their setup's going to be, what the grip levels are like.
Absolutely. I mean, the rain has stopped. The sun is coming out. Oh, it's hard to know what the track will be for the guys.
I think the state it's in at the minute, I'll be surprised if it changes much. It's cold here now.
Yeah.
Like it really, the temperatures drop, but as you say, the sun might come out. I don't think it's going to dry. Rag, Brownmüller, Compton, Muru, and Ugar in this. Ugar has taken the TQ at the previous 2 events, if I remember correctly. Let me just check. Yes, he has. Yes, he's been, that's it. Yeah, he was the only driver to have taken TQ at both events, but having not taken the win yet. He currently sits in P2, but he's 14 points behind Armin Rag, who is on the pole here. So Rag with the TQ spot will want to hold on to that. Lovely, smooth. Look at Rag's start. The nose came up so gently. You know he's feathered that clutch in beautifully. He's got it done. Ugar trying to go around the outside in the background with the yellow on the car. Ugar can't get to the Joker, and I think he would have gone then. And he's really lucky. Both the cars on his outside go Joker.
Absolutely.
Spin in the background. Someone's gone round. Looks like Marco Muru's gone round in the background. So Armin Rag leads from Ugar. Compton, Brownmüller have jokered. And Muru drops to the back of the pack with that spin in turn 1. Sorry, Clara, carry on.
But what a launch from Rag. I mean, from pole position, the lowest grip on the whole grid, and really managing that perfectly with the clutch and with the power on the throttle. So yeah, well in front now. Let's see if Ugar can catch him.
1.2 seconds back at the moment. So if they finish like this, it will be Rag with the TQ spot, definitely. Lohéac and Martinez's times, I think, will be quite hard to beat, 3:51, 3:53. But the thing is, I can't see the track anymore. We can only see the camera positions. You've been out there. You think it's clearing up a bit?
Yeah, I could sense a line down the hill now with the gravel. So the line is forming. It's still very slippery, but you need to be on the line.
Skies are clear, aren't they, in the background now?
Yeah.
Did that come in earlier, you think, that the teams were expecting? Because it did from our point of view. We had a radar that when they said about it was coming in an hour, and
yeah.
it was definitely wrong. It came in way earlier.
Yeah, normal Höljes. Suddenly it comes, and then the sun will shine, and it will be 20 degrees in like 20 minutes. So.
Yeah, we'll all be back in shorts and T-shirt.
Yep.
Rag continues to lead with the fastest lap on the first encounter. There's a few seconds off the start line before they hit the timing line. So actually the first lap is a reasonable indicator of pace sometimes. A little bit of understeer through. Rag strikes me as being, both of them, being very measured with their inputs.
Yeah, and you can see that Ugar is really getting some pace now. Tight exits with a straight cross-cut and really dragging the traction.
Ugar goes Joker, fastest lap as well on Joker. Good timing. Is he going to get out in front of Comte though? Valentin Comte coming on the standard lap, and he does, yeah. Up and over the crest into the velodrome.
Let's see what Ugar can do now. He has 1.5 lap now to catch Rag, which will Joker on the last lap.
Yeah, Rag's going to get it done. 3.2. I don't know if that's enough or not in these conditions. We'll have a Joker indicator, but it probably be based on yesterday. And obviously the conditions are so markedly different. It's really hard to know what the grip is. I see what you mean now, but it's not a dry line. It's a puddle-free line on the side.
Exactly.
Pre-launches are happening behind us now for Supercar RX1. Armin Rag into the Joker lap. You can see the left foot on the brake there. The middle one's the rain light, the other two are the brake lights. Easily done. Easily done. Lovely drive here from Armin Rag. Won 2 of the sessions yesterday. Is he going to win the one today? Target time of Marin Lohéac is 3:51.3. At this point, you say, yeah, he's got it easily, but the finish line's still a fair way off.
Lap 3 was 54.2. That's quicker with 7/10 from Lohéac, but Lohéac did a very clean heat, so let's see what...
This is done, definitely.
Yeah.
He's got 12 seconds to get there, he's done. So Armin Rag's going to destroy the time here. Great drive, but again, maybe track conditions coming into play as well. 3:45.3 lap time. Yeah, I mean, there was the 1:54.2, so he's 7/10 quicker, but it looks like he's done it relatively consistently. So Armin Rag, who sits second in the standings at the minute, 2 points off. He's had a P2 and a P4. He's going to be the top qualifier here. and he's maybe making a play for the championship lead from Martin Nyirád. Neither of them has taken a win so far, but Armin Rag has put himself in the best possible position to do so here. Great job. He wins his race. Nyirád P2, Comte, Braumüller and Muro. So Rag wins the race and he wins Q4. 3 out of the 4 qualifying session wins. Diego Martinez took the first one. Martinez, you got to feel for a bit with the retirement in Q3. But down to 12th there, those are the drivers that made. The 2 Martins not in and Benjamin Bartlett not making the cut either. So those, your semi-final 12 are there. Let's get down to Hal Ridge.
Well, I just looked across at the clock in Team RX Racing. It says 11 a.m. It feels like we've been doing this all day, doesn't it? So much has happened. But bad news from down here in Team RX Racing. Ollie O'Donovan won't be starting the quarterfinals, and that place won't be taken by anybody else. That place will be, it'll be just a gap in the back of the grid. O'Donovan's car could have been fixed with a lot of work, and had he been in the championship fight, had he been looking to win the event, maybe that would have been a bit different. But remember, it's his home event in just 2 weeks' time. There's a lot of damage to the front of the car, and the team have decided the best thing to do is to take it home, fix it properly, and be ready for Mondello Park. So sadly, Ollie O'Donovan won't be starting the quarterfinals in just a few minutes' time.
Oh, what a shame for Ollie. He was so happy this morning. He's been in great spirits. I love Ollie. He's such a smiley character,
yes,
isn't he? You've had the pleasure of coming and driving the RX 150s with him as well. Lovely bloke and a shame, but I get it. Home event next. Good decision.
Absolutely.
On then to the quarter-finals for RX1. Here we go. Your top qualifier, Juha Rukkanen, with Ulrich Linnemann next to him on row 1. On to row 2, Joni Tapainen and Nils Volland. And then row 3, we have Hans-Göran Ostreng and Anton Sepper. Sepper just about making the cut and getting in. Cold and wet here at Höljes. The rain has stopped falling, and we're about to get the semi-finals underway. Marshall's leaving the grid, thumbs up, and we look up to the lights. Here we go. Front row is what they've all been working for all day, just to try and get there. Oh, it's a brilliant start from row 2 for Tapainen. Blasts alongside his teammate Rukkanen. Rukkanen versus Tapainen for Reds RX into turn 1. Tapainen round the outside in turn 1 in quarter-final number 1. Gets ahead of the TQ man. Sepper goes joker. Linnemann at the back is plastered in mud, but it's a 1-2 for Reds RX at the minute.
If ever you needed to hook the start up, it's from the second row of the grid in the quarterfinals, isn't it? And Joni had that absolutely done. He's got so much trust in the grip here. I had a chat to him off air in between, because Linnemann's on a fight back after that terrible start, trying to go around the outside of
Ostreng's car's broken. Rear right half, the rear right toe link's gone on Ostreng's car.
That could be a reprieve for Linnemann, who had a shocking start from the front of the grid.
He's gone round. Ostreng with a big spin coming down the hill. Got to pull that off now with a broken rear suspension. Not going to make it. Just get yourself out of the way. Get yourself safe.
This will be interesting between Linnemann and Volland, because I would say Linnemann's much more comfortable in these conditions. So much more supercar experience for the Danish driver, but the Reds RX guys are just gone up the road, aren't they? Look at the visibility from Ripson, not ideal. Nobody told me they could see very well in that gap, Andrew, in between the 2 sessions.
Oh, and he flicks the car in beautifully anyway. Absolutely brilliant.
Glass windscreen, you can tell immediately on Ripson's car, because it's got a little chip in it, and that makes a big difference, because the polycarbonate windscreen, while light, sometimes scratches that little bit, doesn't it, in these conditions.
Look at Rukkanen's concentration, just down a gear, turning the car in. Sideways as he gets on the throttle, big jump up to the top. So Tapainen leads from Rukkanen, Volland in P3. Where's Linnemann?
Linnemann's jokered on the last lap, Andrew, out of our shot, so Linnemann's on a charge now in the background.
That's a good decision. Linnemann was a bit scruffy in the last corner on the previous lap, which made it a bit tricky.
He took half a second out of Volland in the middle sector.
Joker, so Rukkanen's gone joker, and as well Volland's gone in. So Volland has gone in to try and cover off that position. Top 3, remember, are going up. So Volland, oh, big curb. You're on board there with Rukkanen again. Where's the merge? Where's the merge? It's Volland versus Linnemann. Linnemann's got him, so Linnemann's got Volland. Linnemann got him for that crucial P3 in the race.
I think Volland was indecisive in turn 2, Andrew. It's like he had it stopped for turn 2, then got back in the throttle, and that can cost you so much time in that battle.
Clara, this looks like it's going to be a little bit more done now in terms of, Volland is now behind Linnemann. It's going to be a struggle to get past. Brilliant start from Tapainen. What about those different rows on the start grid?
Yeah, I mean, Tapainen did very well to hold on around the outside into turn 1. That was ballsy, and you see into the joker. very impressed by Johnny this year.
Me too. He's absolutely fantastic, isn't he, Hal?
This is the first time all weekend we've seen the mixture of grid positions as well, the first knockout races, and you see the grip's actually there in row number 2, which we so often
We've seen it before, haven't we, in previous years?
Laying rubber down all weekend on that first row. 5 wide starts through qualifying, but those second row and third rows haven't been touched so far.
So Paynen into the corner at the bottom of the hill. Yeah, but he's mistake-free, isn't he, Hal? Look at it. It's like he's just feeling his way around. We were saying the same a minute ago. Nyirád was brilliant in RX5, just felt his way around the whole time.
Johnny said Q4 was harder than the wet sessions of last year. Remember,
really?
The final for the RX1 guys was absolutely torrential, but Johnny felt that Q4 was even more difficult.
It was very honest of Johan. Both me and Clara thought to say he was a bit scared. I would have been.
And the guys are taped. It's not just the screen, is it? Because the guys are furiously taping up every panel gap on the Polo. You don't have that situation happen twice, do you? Everybody at KMS will be making sure that there's no water ingress in the car. So interesting in pre-grid, which drivers stay in the car with the door firmly shut.
You would.
Which drivers allow the door to be open to let the moisture in. It's always a risk.
Anyone who's done a rally ever will tell you that you don't want to get out of the car in the rain if you can possibly help it. To Paynen. Into the long left-hander. This is a brilliant drive to Paynen, takes quarter-final number 1, and that's going to see him on the front row in the semis. His teammate Rukkonen gets there as well. Rukkonen, though, with the TQ, be disappointed not to have got that, and I think it's that row 2 start, Clara, was what was so interesting about it.
Absolutely, especially on the wet, just to be on that second row, it's yeah, you can make a rocket of a launch, but let's see this next quarter-final. I think it's going to be a spicy one.
I think so too.
Lindeman's had a roller coaster this year, hasn't he, in the quarters. In Riga, he just scraped the quarters, then made it to the semis, nearly made the final. In Hungary, he lost out in the quarters, and here it looked like it had gone wrong, and he's got it back.
It's very Ulrich Lindemann, isn't it, Hal? He doesn't love a straightforward day, does he? So Lindemann makes the cut in P3. Juha Rukkonen is through in P2, but Johnny to Paynen with an incredible start wins quarter-final number 1. Volland, Seppa and Ostren go no further this weekend. Here's that start.
Helped by Lindemann having an absolute shocker on the front row, but Topinen got it hooked up. Rukkonen took a lot of curb there. Part of that's an avoidance, isn't it, to make sure they don't have contact. The last thing you want to do in motor racing is to fire off your teammate, just because it makes it super awkward when you get back to the awning. As you know well, Clara, you've had a few kerfuffles with Nicholas Graham in the past.
Yeah, but I think that we have been quite patient with each other.
Afterwards or on track?
Both.
This is Lindemann getting on the outside of Ostring. I wonder if Ostring's suspension broke there with that side-to-side contact. No malicious intentions there from Lindemann, but sometimes just that loading of the two wheels making contact.
Here's his spin in the background, Hal. I think at this point he probably didn't know, did he, that it was fully gone. Yeah, it was nearly what's it called in ice skating where you do more than one? A triple Salco or whatever. Anyway, yeah, whatever. It's slippery.
We've seen a few people over there drop it going through the years, and yeah, it's eye-opening.
Yeah.
Topinen keeping off the curb, not wanting to unsettle the car too much.
Look
very level-headed, isn't he, for such a young lad?
Incredible. And he's grown in confidence so much in the car and outside as well. Brilliant job to Paynen, wins quarter 1. On to quarter-final number 2. The cars are on the grid, loaded and ready to go. Remember that row 2 was fantastic last time out. Can that be repeated this time? Ola Christian Veiby on the pole with Patrick O'Donovan alongside him. Veiby qualified second. Martin Enland on that second row. Could he get another banger of a start? Peter Hedstrom very nervous when Hal spoke to him earlier on. And on the back row, Mark Moser and Joao Ribeiro. Ribeiro has got pace in that Hyundai, but missed Q1 by 4 minutes after a blown turbo. So a bit of work to do for him to try and make it into the top 3, but don't count him out at this point.
Shows the value in the quarterfinals, though. He missed an entire session and still done enough to get back into it.
I think that's what's nice about it, Hal. Yeah, you're on the back row, and you know it's going to be hard work, but at some point we're going to have that incredible fight-back story from P24 to the win. Might take us a couple of years. Let's see. Enland looking for a good start from row 2. It's not quite what Topinen had last time. Veiby's got it absolutely bang on. Look at Ribeiro from the back row to the whole shot. What did we just say? 0 to hero, dips the rear left wheel in a puddle. Joao Ribeiro with the whole shot from P6.
Baby's joker, but he was in the pack in turn 2, then turned out of it. O'Donovan had already gone around the outside of him. That hasn't worked out for OC Baby at all. Now he's at the back of the pack.
Absolutely brilliant start. Ribeiro drops the wheel again. He's got to calm it down. Keep it tidy. Keep it tidy. Peter Hedström, Hal, you've said he's an expert round here, and he's going to look inside. Hedström almost alongside here. Ribeiro just about gets the place back. Joao Ribeiro's got to calm it down, Clara.
Yeah, but what a start from Ribeiro from the back road up to P1. And yeah, now he needs to put on those silver gloves and manage the guys. And
I love it. Hal, look at Patrick. He's in a box seat here, 2.7 off. Ribeiro still driving too hard, losing the place. Hedström's through.
Hedström up the inside. I was going to say, Joao Ribeiro is kind of lucky that he doesn't know the form of the supercar drivers, having not really raced in RX1 before, because you'd be pretty nervous with Peter Hedström behind you around Höljes, wouldn't you? Because not only is he willing to get stuck in, but he's also very quick around here.
Hal, for me, Ribeiro's car's very loose in the rear. I wonder if I wonder if there's a bit of lack of experience with changing the settings here for the wet conditions.
They also have support from PGRX. Now this is the R5 chassis from the PG squad, not one of the.
Baby having a look at O'Donovan now.
The Hyundai isn't one of the XGRX machines, but they do have support from PGRX. So I think yes, of course, Joao needs to learn how to set the car up, but he has lots of support.
Yeah, sure. It's not.
Baby to the inside.
Oh, it looks inside, not quite there. Avoids the bollard as well. Somebody stood those up before the quarterfinals. Now with the drone, OC Baby up the inside line. O'Donovan loses the place and ends up in the heavy water. Joao Ribeiro still sideways up the road.
That could be bad news for Patrick O'Donovan. Enland's in
Joker.
Ribeiro, sorry, is in the Joker.
So at the minute, Baby, O'Donovan and Moser have all jokered. Is Moser through as we know? We're Moser behind.
The critical thing now, Andrew, is the gap between Martin Enland and Patrick O'Donovan, which at the moment is 5.1 seconds. That's not going to be enough for Patrick if Enland absolutely nails the alternative extra route. So O'Donovan needs to get the hammer down.
Ribeiro's putting on quite the show here. If this was Formula Drift, he'd had a ton of points.
He's having loads of fun at least.
Good photos, Hal, good photos. Hedström still leading out front.
None of these drivers are anywhere near the lap times of Johnny Pine in the last session. Now, that's not relevant in terms of the result, but it just shows that Pine did a great job running out front on his own.
Oh, look at Enland, he's really flirting with it. They both go into the Joker lap here on lap 4 out of 5. Inside line, Baby, this is to cover off OC. OC, Baby, might get the lead back here. Hedström going to shut the door, and Baby not quite there. Good recovery from OC.
Great job from him, and both of those drivers joker to try and cover off the people they were respectively racing. Hedström had the gap to OC, Enland had the gap for O'Donovan, who just hasn't got it in him at the moment to get on the back of this trio. 48.4 is the fastest lap of the race, but that's not as quick as Depainen went last time around, and OC will be very keen to get past Hedström in this last lap and a bit to try and be on the front row for the semis.
Side, can't quite make it. Still got that lap to go. Clara, where's your best attempt here at a pass?
Oh, you just need to wait for the mistakes. I mean, in these conditions, you need to be just as close as you can and just wait for a small slide or something, like we saw Ribeiro in the last corner, and just stuck it up the inside.
Let's see then. For me, Hal, it's likely to be in the velodrome sequence, from here to velodrome, if there's going to be anything.
The key problem for Baby is that Hedström, nobody knows this track better than him, regardless of outright pace, but he's done so many laps around here in all conditions.
Did you see that? Just very little movement, the steering on the exit, over the crest, dead straight, pulled away from Baby. So Hedström here with a brilliant drive in the X-bound man is 208, blowing flames out as he heads down the hill into the right-hander at the bottom here. Wipers on for everybody in this. OC Baby looks to the outside. This is one last attempt. Hedström, though, will nail it onto the curb on the inside. Baby knows that. Look at him, backs him up the whole way through. Great drive, Peter Hedström takes the semi-final with OC Baby, and Enland goes through as well. O'Donovan, I'm afraid.
Puncture, isn't it? He must have a problem.
Yeah, I think so.
Wonder if we can see Patrick's car as they return to the paddock.
Where's Joao? Joao at the back of the pack, so I don't know what happened with Ribeiro either. Ribeiro's
lots of throttle ankle, I think, was much an issue.
100% throttle. The team fitted a switch for him. Okay, results then. Quarter-final number 2. Hedström goes through. OC Baby as well, and Martin and Patrick O'Donovan not making it. He was in the TQ spot last night, and he's not going to be in the semi-finals. He'd be disappointed, I know. We'll try and grab him in a bit. Mark Moser, P5, and Joao Ribeiro after the start of the weekend, and shows it can be done from the back row. Unfortunately, P6. You guys talk us through this.
O'Donovan had a reasonable initial launch, didn't he? Side by side with OC Baby, then out of nowhere pops Ribeiro around the outside into the puddle. O'Donovan, very early commitment into the Joker, that's what you need to do. Baby actually got really sideways, destroyed the Joker split board as well on the way in, and this was Ribero's race, wasn't it, Clara? Lots of throttle angle, lots of sideways, and yeah, not quite the pace he needed.
Yeah, a little bit too much slides for these conditions, but I'm keen to see what happened to Patrick. Really got that he missed out on the semi, but yeah, let's see if we can spot anything.
Yeah, devastating for him. Overnight TQ, it had all come good for him on Saturday afternoon, and is he the first big scalp from the quarterfinals we've seen this year? I'd say he probably is. That there was definitely something awry there because he didn't have the ultimate pace. This is Baby having a look up the inside. O'Donovan's already got a puncture, I think, at this stage, front right.
Yeah.
I think he's already got a puncture when he gets passed by Baby. We'll have to see that. I think Claudia is going to wait at the awning to see what happens when he gets back.
Hal, you're right. I mean, it's a shame. He's P6 in the standings and he's been in the semis at both the previous events. So, yeah, not ideal.
Final in Riga, wasn't it, I think?
Sorry?
Final in Riga?
Yes, it was. P5 in Riga, P11 in Hungary.
Had that crash in Nyirád. What a great job, though, for Peter Hedström to win at his home event. He's struggled this weekend, hasn't he, with that 2-away? I couldn't actually hear what he said, to be honest, in that interview in pre-grid, but he looked pretty nervous.
He was nervous, you were right. And we're having a look here. Is that front right off, Hal, or not?
Yeah, they're having a look on.
Yeah.
I think you can see the damage to the wheel. There's Ross Rukoff there, mechanic for that car. If we can have a look down at that wheel, see it's all shining on the edge. Yeah, that's definitely a puncture. And he's had that very early in the race before OC got by him. What a shame.
Yeah, that is the way it goes sometimes, I'm afraid. On to quarter-final number 3. Front row, Fabian Paye again could have been the TQ man, and Johan Kristoffersson got caught in the rain in that final session. Black flag in Q2. It's been an up and down weekend for everyone. Johannes Rappos, the 19-year-old, doing a brilliant job here, as is Mandy August in the quarterfinals on row 2. Great drive. And the final row, Paulius Pleskivas and Jose Oliveira.
Mandy's first quarters of the year, I think she's missed out just twice.
Yeah, I think you're right. I can check in just a moment. Hold on, let me get to my standings. And I've got a big plastic note stuck over it, so no, we're not getting those out in the wet. We'll just assume that's the case. Johan here will have a clear screen this time at least. I'm sure the team will have sorted that. We didn't see a brilliant launch earlier today from Paye in the wet. Kristoffersson gets away well, row 2. It's a great start for Rappos, gets through. Look, Rappos straight up into P2 and down to P4, unfortunately, in the background for Paye. Side by side with August. Paye should go joker for me here if he knows. He's going to stay out, though, behind Pleskivas. And out front, it's brilliant job by Kristoffersson, leading from Rappos.
Great start.
Oliveira, a long way back, Hal.
Great start from Rappos from the second row, but you're on a hiding to nothing from P4, aren't you? Especially when you're behind slower cars, because Pleskivas doesn't have Paye's pace, nor does Mandy August. So do you joker and get stuck behind someone that potentially hasn't jokered, or you stay out and but then being disingenuous to Pleskivas because he's pulling away from Paye out of the velodrome.
With the way this is at the moment, Oliveira's 10 seconds back and I think has an issue. So if I was spotting for Paye, if Pleskivas doesn't go, I would go, Clara.
Yeah, I reckon so also.
There's 3 clearly quicker drivers in this quarter-final.
I'd wait another lap, Andrew, because Mandy's, what's the gap going to be as they cross the line?
I'm with you, she's too close.
8.2, it'll be tight with Mandy.
Yeah, you're right, Hal, so hold on one more. And Pleskivas is going well here.
All that autocross experience for Pleskivas really plays into your hands in these wet conditions, doesn't it? Because you're always looking for the grip on an autocross circuit. Look at the sparks flying off the front brake disc. I love this low light. You see the sparks from the undercards over the jump when the cars are braking.
You're on board now with Johan. Look at the difference in terms of visibility and watch this. This is a bit of a masterclass. Sit with him if we can.
Like being on holiday, isn't it, for him now relative to Q4?
Look at it. Listen, Hal. So late and so smooth on the throttle, Clara.
So patient.
I know you do this. This is what you do, but when you watch it, it's impressive.
Yeah, Johan on the wet. I mean, he's so patient on throttle and always managed to get the traction.
Oh, who's got off? Rappos? No! Rappos has dropped it in turn 1. That's a real shame. Now then, Pleskivas and Paye looking in the box seats to go through. Paye takes the joker. He'll want to be on road 2 if he can, so he's going to want to get the edge on Pleskivas. I'm gutted for Rappos, Hal.
I knew it was Rappos as well. well, didn't you, from the excitement from the local commentators? But, oh, what a shame for that young man.
Gutted.
He'll be back though, Andrew. He is so fast and so composed.
You felt like this might be a good weekend for him, but you know what? Yeah, it's not the work of a season, is it, or an event? You got to build up to these.
And he's
things.
on a 2-year plan. They came into this year knowing that this was a 2-year plan. A 47.2 that time around for Johan Kristoffersson.
Look at it out.
Absolutely flying, mostly on throttle.
It's so unspectacular. You say you're right. You know, in the same sentence, you're like, he's flying, but you look on board and he literally looks like I look going down the shops.
Not that slow.
Well, yeah, fair. Fair.
Escobar's so tentative.
Here we go, Paillet coming over the crest in the background. Paillet's going to get this, and he does. So
I don't think Palace will be bothered about that, to be honest with you, through to the semi-finals, and we've seen that anything can happen. Just be canny through the Joker, don't hit the curb too hard, don't risk spinning, damaging the suspension. They're on a different level to Kristoffersson. Kristoffersson's trying to prove his worth, and he's also discovering the grip for later on if the conditions don't change too much. Escobar will just be absolutely delighted.
He'd be made up with it, but Paillet, nice job to get up onto road 2.
Yeah, brilliant job, and he deserves it. As Clara's been saying, he's been such a star this weekend, hasn't he, Fabien Paillet?
On board with Johan, then through the Joker. Here we go, watch this, look. Listen in. Little pop and crackle as he comes off the throttle and then back on the gas again. Get it straight and they light it up, Clara.
Yeah, but it's so funny with Johan. We've been speaking a lot about driving on the wet. He says that it's so easy. You just do everything you do, but in slow motion. And it's like, well...
Yeah, you make it look at his eyes.
And then they've also turned the anti-lag down a lot, so the anti-lag is what keeps the turbos spinning, and when you've got the anti-lag set to a really aggressive setting, it pulls you into all of the corners to keep the response there. Well, you'll back that right off in these conditions.
Kristoffersson, brilliant here, winning his quarterfinal. We'll see him on the front row in his semi, and that's what he'll want, and he'll fancy his chances from there. They've got to get the start right, of course. It's going to depend on the conditions later on today. Paillet into the last corner, through the left-hander. Checker flag is out for him. P2, again, I think he'd be happy to be there. And P3, Pleskovius is in. So Pleskovius will be very happy to have made it through to the semi-finals.
So I think that's going to give Johan Kristoffersson pole in semi-final number 1. Is it?
I've no idea.
I think so, because he out-qualified, as we see confirmation of the result. Kristoffersson, Paillet and Pleskovius all moved through to the semis. Topainen was qualified 9th, but won the first semi-final. Kristoffersson's won the 3rd semi-final.
So the odds go to odds, yeah.
I think so. I don't know, a lot's happened today. I couldn't believe it was only 11 o'clock when
honestly, I looked at my phone a minute ago, I was like, you're having a laugh, aren't you? It's the middle of the afternoon, surely. Look at this. Amazing start from Rapos. For me, the biggest loser in this race, Rapos, obviously, was sitting in P2 after a great start. He's had a brilliant weekend, right up there in qualifying.
The biggest scalps are Petter Solberg and Johannes Rapos. Oh, and that was a big impact in the front, and that sand, Clara, is so deep, isn't it, when you've...
yeah, when you're stuck, you're stuck.
You're not coming out of there.
No.
Oh, you've never been there, of course.
No, never. Wouldn't never.
No, I'd never visit the gravel track. I thought it was interesting, actually, what Ollie said earlier, Hal, about I wanted to go into the gravel straight, not sideways. I don't want to roll the car.
That's experience for you.
Absolutely.
That's about paying the bills.
Yeah, exactly. Yeah, take the less crash.
Although the damage is substantial.
Wow. So that. Just trying to, they're sweeping some of the water away. Remember, the times are irrelevant at this point, so it doesn't matter that they're doing track prep in between the races.
It's a safety thing as well, isn't it? If you can get some of the standing water away.
Look at this. Look at that, wow. Look at that.
They do big machines well in Scandinavia, don't they?
They do.
We'd be all brushing it with brooms back home, but here they do a massive bit of plan, fire it off out the way.
I could do with one of those. I don't know what I'd use it for, but I love the idea of having a load of those diggers and things with bits on them. Marshall's having a fairly nonchalant walk back as we're waiting on quarter-final number 4. That's the way you recover a car. Anybody, in any category, that is the way you recover a car. Here we go then, it's time for the last quarter final. On the front row, Andreas Bakkerud in the pole with Rennie Munich alongside. Then Kasper Janssen and Victor Christensen. And then finally, bringing up the rear, Mats Oman and Ollie O'Donovan will be a DNS. Unfortunately, they couldn't get the car repaired in time. Here we go then. Rain still falling, look, you can see the droplets increasing. Kasper Janssen, I really want to see Kasper make it through after being P2, seeing him follow Johan in Q1 it was, wasn't it? Ever so calm again. In a nice spot on the grid as well. That's the one where we've seen great start from Rapos, wasn't it? We saw the brilliant start earlier on. Ollie would have been in the start slot that Ribeiro was in on the outside, but not to be this time. One less car means a little bit less of a headache in terms of tactics. Andreas Bakkerud still with the visor down. I mean, I never had the visor down in this weather. It's pretty grim out there. It's not sunglasses weather, it's not shorts weather. That was a bad decision as well.
I think it's a being in his own bubble thing, Andrew.
Yeah, I think so too. Hiding the emotions completely. Do you feel like you've closed yourself in? Conscious decision. He's a lighter visor. Look, you can see patient pictures through, which you can't normally. So Bakkerud on the handbrake and ready to go. Watch for Janssen on row 2. The nose of the 208 comes up. It's not enough to match the start. On the inside, Mats Oman moves right the way across. Can't get alongside though. Kasper Janssen P2. Andreas Bakkerud gets the whole shot. It's Kristoffersson in P3. On board here with Janssen. What's going on with the wipers?
They're doing absolutely nothing from where the onboard camera is. Running Munich into the Joker. This time around, Oman stays out. Biķernieki on his RX1 debut, all over the back of Kasper Janssen on the run.
Janssen's got problems with the wipers. How definitely can't see anything, can he? Look at his screen. It's absolutely filthy. It's like it's come up the inside. It's mud up the inside.
You can see the screen moving around, Andrew. This is a polycarbonate window. I wonder if there's just a gap appearing. It was interesting off the grid. We had a shot of Bakkerud, didn't we? And you saw the anti-lag come on. The launch procedure starts. All the water on the window started vibrating. You can see at the bottom, he's got a gap at the bottom of the screen. Oh, that's the face of concentration.
That's the, on the left-hand side, that's the marshal post going by. Just awful conditions. How far back are Oman and Munich? So Munich's been in the Joker. Oman is 6.2 further back.
Hopefully, Mr. Director Steve, please can we run on board for a minute. You can see the water. If we look at the front-facing shot, you can see the water running inside the screen. There's a gap at the top of the windscreen. The water's running down. Oh no!
Absolute nightmare. So it's leaking at the top of the screen. Then he's been shot blasted on the run to the first corner. It's actually looks like it's clearing a little bit now, but this is really tricky for Janssen.
I always think visibility is arguably the most important element in the rallycross car, but sometimes the least considered. So often you see a driver's race won or lost on the basis that the wipers aren't very efficient, but there's such a tiny element of the machine that's so critical.
Is that an air vent across the front of Janssen? A very thin air vent at the top. Do you think the team have forgotten to tape it up? Joker now for Kristoffersson.
No, I don't think there is an air vent in the top of the...
It's hard to see. There's a black line just above. I didn't think there was, but I can't understand how that amount of mud would have got in on the first one. Munich's done a brilliant job.
Kristoffersson, and they're both closing on the back of Janssen.
We'll just sort of try and see Janssen from the front in a minute and see. I don't think there's a vent either, but say there's like a black line unless the screen is loose. But yeah, he's moving around a lot. So Kristoffersson having Joker. I think Kasper here, Howland. You see. Either way,
I think it's just a leak, Andrew, and
yeah. Not what Janssen needed. For me, Hal, he's got to respond here. He's got to respond here to Kristoffersson. He might as well go Joker
I
now.
think the visibility is much better. We know he's got better ultimate pace than Munich. You can tell the visibility is better. He's attacking the curbs. I'd have stayed out, to be honest, because now he can see again, and clearly he can see by the way he's driving the car.
It's about covering Kristoffersson behind. It's a good decision, I think. So they cover Kristoffersson, and then at least you're in P3. That puts you in the semis. Go on, Hal. Oh, Kristoffersson makes a mistake over the grass on the inside
Good job
line.
not to run into the side of Janssen from young Victor Kristoffersson.
Go on, Hal, what's your thoughts? Kristoffersson trying to go the long way around. Kasper Janssen stays down low.
I'm always an advocate of joking when you've got the gap because you don't know what can happen, but ultimately you've dropped yourself back into a fight here, and we know Janssen has good pace.
Oh, and he's made a mistake. Janssen gets deep on the brakes. Kristoffersson trying to find a way through on the inside. All over the road. What about you, Clara? What's your thoughts on the strategy?
Yeah, I mean, he did it correct to cover off Kristoffersson, but this fight is not over.
Bakkerud goes into the Joker lap, but the fight here is for P3, isn't it? So Bakkerud and Munich going to make it.
Just dropped it in the back.
Oh, he's gone. he's gone. The pressure's off Casper. They need to get on the radio to him now and tell him he can chill. And that's completely changed it. So Christensen's gone round. Andreas Bakkerud in the clear out front. Wow. What a dramatic session we've had. I'll tell you what, I think it's just been one of the most dramatic weekends of Rallycross I've ever worked on. Just with the amount of people in this depth of entry that have had a roller coaster of a weekend. Andreas Bakkerud takes the jump on the final corner to complete a very long session that started with Q4 in those mad conditions and has come through to be the end of the quarterfinals. Bakkerud has made the cut. Rennie Munich with a great job again goes through in P2, and Kasper Janssen somehow with pretty much zero visibility on lap one does just about make it. Christensen was making his life very hard at the end. What a weekend so far, Hal.
I'm knackered.
I am too. I'm just like, are there any more stories to play out? I mean, based on last year's finals, I reckon, but...
Yeah, I mean, I wonder if the rain will stop or continue. I mean, we never know in Höljes, but so far the drama has been clearly there.
Well, the weather radar was absolutely incorrect, wasn't it, about when we were going to see the rain come in. Andreas Bakkerud takes the final quarter-final result. Rennie Munich, great job from the German to make it through to the semis. Kasper Janssen scrapes in after that poor visibility. Shame for Mats Oman to miss out on the semis, and Victor Christensen had a solid debut in his Euro RX from Korea.
Here's the start again. Kasper Janssen with a there. Look, instantly plastered, but the wipers. Oh, I can't figure it out. We'll have to ask him. We'll have to get out there and ask him. Good decision by Rennie Munich to go Joker straight away in the carnage and the filth. Clara, you just want the whole shot in these conditions for visibility more. Oh, you always want the whole shot, but in these conditions, you just want to get it done, don't you?
Absolutely, because then everything is in your hands.
Yeah.
Just to do, I mean, clear windscreen, like for Andreas, you can save tires if you need to. Big off for Oman there. It's so easy to drop it there into the turn 4-5. It's so slippery in entry.
And you're also trying to transition the car, aren't you, from left to right? So you're giving it a bit of a flick here. Go on, Hal.
There's so much grip on the outside of the velodrome. You've just got to be brave enough to go there and use it, haven't you? If you look at anyone that gets side by side in the wet conditions, you manage to drive away. Fair play to Victor Christensen. There's a few opportunities to fire Kasper Janssen off there and chose not to take them. Drove with maturity and battled it out. Shame for him to drop it towards the end. This is the move. Just got away from him, didn't it? There's that aquaplaning again where the car's just gone and yeah, not much you can do about it.
Andreas Bakkerud lands the car beautifully and makes him sway through. Okay, great stuff in the quarterfinals. Let's take a look at the lineup then for semi-final number one. It is Johan Kristoffersson on the pole, so Hal was right. It's the winners of the two quarters. Oh, no, sorry, showing Tapainen on the pole. Not sure, because that's on the wrong side for me. We'll figure that out later. Front row, Tapainen and Kristoffersson. Row 2, Rukkanen and Paye. Row 3, Linneman and Pleskivas. Pleskivas has done brilliantly to get in there. Watch out for Linneman if it's wet. Our championship fighters are all in there. Look, Rukkanen's right up at the top with Tapainen and Kristoffersson. Brilliant stuff. Crowd still with the umbrellas on and the waterproofs. The rain is still falling at the moment. And let's have a look at semi-final number 2. Front row, Andreas Bakkerud and Peter Hedström. Then it's Rennie Munich and OC Baby, Kasper Janssen and Martin Enner. So a couple of the young guns in there. Hedström so experienced here. Bakkerud in with that championship fight as well.
That'll be a good semi-final.
Oh, it's going to be great.
It's always semi-final 2, isn't it?
The top 5 have all made it, Hal. So basically the top 5 in the standings so far this year have made the final at every event. But at least they're through to the semis, so that looks set to continue. Patrick was in P6 and he hasn't made the semis this time, so wow. So 13:30 local time is the Euro RX semi-finals. That's in just under 2 hours time. Then RX4 semis, RX3 semis, and then the Euro RX1 semis after that. Then at 2:45 this afternoon, we move on to the final. So this is all in one session. RX5, RX4, RX3, and the big one, the RX1 final later on today. Thanks to Hal and Clara for all their hard work and the whole team in this weather. We'll see you later for more drama from Höljes.